recording.
I shall hang out. Uh, this is one of those games that I definitely wanted to see, and maybe
Yeah.
I've seen it played, but it's just one of those things. I'm like,
All right. Well, so since we are recording for the version that will go on YouTube, I will start a new game. I plan to do this anyway.
Mm-hmm.
We'll click no sweat. We'll start. Yeah, this is the default one. Coordinates are fine. So we'll start the game. Now it's got to generate stuff. How you
A
doing
lot of
with
stuff.
OBS? All right, OBS says it's doing good. It's only
Yeah,
using like 12% of the CPU. That's fine. As long as my Discord stream is okay. And I'll make sure to leave the Discord chat open. Superheating gases, vacuuming vacuums. So I've gotten, since this is being recorded, and since we got a couple people sitting in chat and gaming, I've done a couple of colonies so far, which, much like certain games of Civ or Stellaris, I have run as far as I can go until I've created my own overcomplicated mess and have to stop and start over. But we learn new things every time.
Yeah, that's been lucky with Stellaris recently.
Yeah, my initial plan, if this stream had gone normally, would be to start a new world as I'm doing, and then I wanted to focus on bum rushing certain technologies so I can get access to the atmosphere suits.
Atmo.
And try and do more exploring, because I've noticed that there are some resources and some biomes I have, like, never gotten to, and I really don't want to send my poor duplicants out to die in some of these, because some of these places are really harsh. Like, if you run into a steam vent, there's, like, a science reward or something to study them. I had to tell my duplicants to stop because they were, like, literally getting scalded to death.
Yeah, I heard. Like I said, this is a game from the same people who made Don't Starve. The game's brutal.
Oh, yeah, no. And I said this before, I think, on WhatsApp. Duplicants are dumb. There's no assuming direct control. I absolutely, last night, had some guys, like, while building some tiles and doors, fall off the end of the room I was building into a pile of polluted water, and then, for some reason, they would not build their own ladder out, even though I told them to do it. And I told all the other duplicants, because they were like 3 guys out of like 15 guys or more stuck out there. Even though I made it top priority, nobody would go over there and build this fucking ladder so they could climb out, and they just died in that hole.
Okay, that was weird. You got a flash of Discord there in your recording, but it's alright.
Got a little bit of a pop. Okay. All right.
Otto lives to dance. Clearly.
Yeah, they're very dancey. Okay, so we have to rename our colony.
Oh.
Okay.
Horny jail.
Who do we got? Who do we got? Okay. I really don't like distress reaction destructive. Let's see. So you are immune to food poisoning, but you have an increased bladder weight. You're only good at ranching, which is yet another area of skill I have not tried at all. Because you can, like, capture wild animals and, like, get them for resources and shit. Haven't touched that at all.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we're going to
Seems like
reroll that guy. Okay, that's a good one. Cooking. So you are uncultured, so you can't do decorating. But you don't care about decor, and you can't do research. That's all right. You can cook. You're a mouth breather, but you are twinkle toes, and you have a lot of different interests, so we'll do that. So, by the way, your duplicants are, like, mass-produced clones, so they have these funny little descriptions. Yeah. Otto's down here.
What? Oh, yeah, I was figuring they'd be something like that. They're called duplicates.
Frankie does have a decent amount of decor, but we're not focused on that tonight. Let's see if we can get some fun. There we go. We're going to get a Nicola. Who can't cook, but does get bonuses at night. All right, so let's embark.
Away. Next. Damn you, YouTube. So that's uploading.
Ah, okay. Okay. All right, what do we got here? Okay, so we got some good stuff. Is this pure water? Yes, it is. All right, great. Okay. So that's really good. So let's get you guys working. Dig that out for me. So as you can see, you have a variety of tools and menus and things.
Oh, no.
And I still have my tutorials set up, so I'll close all those. Luckily, we have spawned literally right next to a very decent pool of fresh water.
I'm
So
assuming that it's gonna go down as you use it, right?
yes, it does go down, and later you can
Oh,
get
no.
ways to replace it. So, but for now
Mhm.
we will. Okay, buddy, what are you doing?
Oh, he's gonna drown. He's dead.
He really wants to get that muck root. That's okay. He'll get out of there. They're gonna freeze
Oh, okay.
though first. All right. So now that we've established a connection, let us build a pitcher pump right there. And then the next thing these guys are gonna immediately need is a place to go poop. So dig that out for me, guys. Now there's some sand here, which of course falls when you dig it. It's great. Also, we've got this material up here called oxalite, which naturally produces oxygen but degrades slowly over time. As you can see, its mass is going down. If people can see that, okay.
Oh yeah, because this game is oxygen not included.
Yeah. You'll notice I have my alerts. No oxygen generator is built and no outhouse is built. So it's letting me know that some things need to get done. But yeah, so my priority right now is to get the basics out of the way. So we'll build some... let's see, is that under... No, outhouses... Actually, yeah. Wash basins are under medicine. So we'll build a couple of sinks here. And then... You guys, would you be so kind as to dig this out? I need some of this... Actually, yeah. Oops. One thing I've noticed is that sometimes this is a little finicky with how it does its drawing and clicking of things. So dig actually all that out. I need some algae and some copper, too. That'll get us started on some stuff. All right, let's speed up the pace. And it's real time with pause, so I can tap spacebar and it immediately pauses. Otto over there gonna pump some water into our wash basin so we can now wash it. Now, by default, these guys are animals, and they do not clean up anything that they dig. They will just wait until it matters, and they will fix it. Okay, yeah, going back, guys. I know there's no air. Leave the zone then. Like I said, they're a little dumb. But there is some oxalite uncovered there, so they will dig that out. So let's... Plumbing. Okay, let's do 1, 2, 3, and a fourth. Because this little bar slowly filling up will fill up with new printables. So that can be other new duplicates, or it
you
can
can
be...
print up to other people. Holy shit.
Yeah, they come out of the printing pod. It'll just randomly spit out a duplicate, or you can sometimes get resources. Usually they're useless, but sometimes it's like, hey, do you want, like, 4,000 kilos of coal? And I'm like, yes, I do. Because that's one of the few things I've consistently found in this game is that coal power goo. It only produces heat and carbon dioxide, which is very, very easy to fix. Okay. Oxygen rises over CO2, so I want you guys to actually build a ladder up here, and I'm going to turn this area into a bedroom, I think. So whenever you guys feel like it, build me some tiles there. And then build me tiles over to this huge coal deposit. And I do got to tell them to manually uproot these plants. Nope, it's
Oh, I
mealtime.
thought those were spikes.
No, those are some kind of plant. What are they? Muckroot. Okay. At later levels, when we access to certain things, like right now, we could build a microbe musher. What we want. Now, unfortunately, I do believe that currently, yeah, we don't have any beds built yet. Usually, this happens on my first cycle with everybody. Is they just pass out where they stand.
I mean, it's kind of like the dirt. It's like the dirt house in Minecraft.
Yeah,
Like you only do so much in the first day.
And the thing is, if you don't make sure to build them like outhouses and wash basins first, then they will make a mess, as they say, which will create polluted water and really fuck up my ecosystem. So beds go on the bottom of my list in terms of first day things. Let's see. Okay, so you guys are gonna wake up. Yeah, your back's hurt. You're gonna clean up the outhouses. Let's see. But then once you build those, go ahead and just arrange me a couple cots.
Is this co-op? Is this game co-op or is it just still single
Sadly,
player?
I don't think it's co-op. It's just single player.
Rack.
I mean, these are the guys who also made Don't Starve Together, so if they're eventually because this game was in like beta for a long time. If there's not eventually a co-op version, I wouldn't be shocked. But since it's mostly strategizing, I can see why.
Oh yeah. It's not the Control A PC like Don't Starve was. I never got good at Don't Starve. If I'm
Yeah, I've never actually
right.
played Don't Starve. Okay, guys, be careful. Don't accidentally seal yourself in a hole like you just did. Thank you. Okay, well, dig yourself out enough crawl space. Okay, this time, please.
Oh, they can only they need
Yes,
need
there's a
space.
tutorial for this. They need too tall. They can jump over one blank space, and I believe they can climb up to 2 spaces. So, for instance, they could climb down here in this gap. Not that I'm going to ask them to, because that's full of annoying carbon dioxide. Oh, did you guys accidentally break something and make some water spill? Mop that up for me. So there's, like, liquid physics and gas physics. Like, you can see right now there's carbon dioxide. Go ahead.
Is all that blue floaty stuff like oxygen, or is that carbon dioxide?
Yeah, no. Blue stuff is breathable oxygen. Black is carbon dioxide.
Mm.
So eventually I'll wanna get a good filter out here. So let's. Okay, what do we got? We can do an oxygen diffuser. So. Things are mostly breathable. So this is the oxygen overlay. It lets me know my various breathe levels. Right now, breathe levels, good.
Okay.
So, let's see. I really want to get down here, though. So, actually, first of all, you guys, knock out that tile.
Are they like... Is that this bottled water right there?
Yeah, so when they mop up stuff, they put it in bottles, which can then be dumped.
Okay.
If I had a space over here, I could build a bottle emptier for them to dump the pure water back in here, but that would require some extra construction, so I'll skip that for now. But that is absolutely a step to building some very basic processes. Like, one thing I've pretty much solved personally in my experience is, like, dealing with polluted water. Because you can produce polluted water and oxygen. So, basically, I can... Actually, let me tab it over to real time while I explain stuff. So, there's a system that's very simple. If it's powered, because power is a thing, but if it's powered and it has... sand, you can turn polluted water into pure water. So you dig out a pool, you put a liquid pump in it, and then you pump that. You just get a bottle opener, a bottle emptier. You dump all your polluted water in there, and then are just like, okay, all duplicants. When you get a mission to clean up polluted water, because you will obviously, like, that's a thing that happens a lot. That's if they have an accident, or algae terrariums are a very common way to produce oxygen because they remove some CO2 and produce clean oxygen, so they're pretty good. But their byproduct is polluted water, so you eventually have to put that somewhere. Otherwise, it'll pollute all your oxygen if it just sits there.
So basically, use algae scrubbers, get polluted water, put out polluted water in the fucking filter, get pure water, rinse, repeat.
Yeah, and so long as you have power, you can get that to loop out pretty good. Now, here we're pretty good because I've got a lot of copper to get started when I actually get to coal generators. Coal to fuel my coal generators. That's something I've definitely noticed is, and why I want to, like, power immediately into,
exploration?
Yeah, like exosuits and stuff, is there are a lot of varied biomes, and you have to go out of your way to, like, make sure you collect enough resources. Okay, let's unpause. You guys dig all this copper out. We will need that for stuff. So, let's see. What can we produce? Okay, do I want to turn this place into a power loop? Probably. Alright, let's build some manual generators. Your first kind of power generator. It's a hamster wheel. Please get rid of that plant. Oh, you ran out of air. That's why you had to leave. Don't worry, I'll fix that too if you guys can just remove this plant. Oh, no, they're taking a break. Great, thanks, guys. It's break time. Downtime means we all go poop, we all go wash up, and then we eat. But at least tonight, they will get up in their beds. Go to sleep. Snoozy times.
Sleepy Time Junction. Yeah, so far this looks pretty fun. I wish I could be paying 100% of attention to this, but Lucky has to play Genshin Impact,
Yeah.
among other things.
That's okay.
And
we'll just
I have
a
a very strong itch to go back to Stellaris. Yeah, I got ate by the Great Tempest last time. I almost got him. I almost fucking got him, but it didn't happen.
All right, thank you for finally fixing that plant. Okay, build me a second manual generator here, and then we're gonna build 2 oxygen diffusers over here.
Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of red.
Yeah, it's very CO2 heavy. Don't worry, I'll fix that. Power.
Oh, so they run up, get air.
Yeah, they will run to the nearest source of clean air. We'll tell them to build some wires. There's plenty of copper. And you can fuck around with their priorities. So right now everything is priority 5. It's all the same priority.
Oh, okay.
Which, depending on their personal, like, for instance, I can pull open their priority menus. So, for instance, I can make it so Catalina, who likes to cook, will favor cooking over other tasks. Not that that matters right now, because there's no additional cookamadoos. Okay.
Cookamadoos.
Power, we need... Let's add a couple battery packs so some of this stuff can run through the night. There you go. Keep running on those. The more you run on them, the more oxygen you make, guys. Don't slack.
But if the more you're running, aren't the harder you're breathing? Isn't that the more oxygen you're using?
Pump that O2. Yeah, oxygen.
What is this death machine?
Diffusers are pretty good. Okay. They're your first and most basic oxygen producing materials. I believe it's you input algae and electricity and they make pure O2. Later, you can get access to the electrolyzer, which if you requires you to just pump in water, and that pumps out hydrogen and oxygen.
That sounds dangerous.
Yeah, but you can build a hydrogen generator, so you can then pump out that hydrogen to do that. So let's see.
Oh, okay.
All right, I don't want to overload any of my circuits, because you got to pay attention to your fucking wire loads and everything, so I don't want to build too big of a circuit. But I think I will, because we need to get started on research. I will queue a research station into this cycle area. So everybody can come down here and work during the day. Ah, we got a new duplicate, new printing. Let's see what we can print. Okay, so we can print a shine nymph.
Or a shine nymph?
It's a chubby baby shine bug. Or we can print one of these 3 fools. Okay. So, you do creativity, excavation, and strength. You are a decorator. You do require more calories, though, but I think we're going to go with Grossman. And I could give them new names. I was originally planning on doing names from chat when I did this, but obviously, since we're not doing it that way, we'll just do it this way. Oh, and it's also the printable's letting me know my duplicants can learn new skills.
Oh.
So they have a little skill tree. They get better, so you can pick what they do, and you can pick their stuff. So I will do hard digging. And every time you give them a skill point, they get a little hat. So now we know that Grossman is a digger. She's got a little hat.
That's great. I love it.
And also, because that was the hard digging capacity, that means that she can dig through tougher stuff. Oh, right. I need to pick a research focus. Okay, so we need to get some basic shit out of the way first. So here's your tech tree. It's quite sizable as I zoom out. And there's there's really advanced shit all the way down there. But let's see. Let's look at what our basic needs are. So I think we want to do basic farming first, because that's algae terrariums and composters. Compost heaps allow us to turn our polluted dirt, which is AKA our dirty poop dirt from our outhouse. We can compost it back into regular dirt, which we can then use to build other stuff. And that is a basic bitch tier build. Power Regulation 101 gives you switches and bigger batteries. We also do need to do this, though, because Advanced Research lets you build the supercomputer. You'll notice how on some of these third-tier researches, they have 20 of the blue research, or 30 of the blue research and 20 of the purple research. You have to have a supercomputer to do that.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. Yeah, so there's plumbing that lets us pump water. That advances into sanitation, filtration, etc. that the air system thing I mentioned earlier. You can also do ventilation. It's the same thing. Here's what we're looking for, though, tonight is hazard protection, because that will give us the exosuit forge, the ability to overlay exosuits, Atmos suit docks, and Atmos suit checkpoints. So I think the way this is supposed to work, because I was able to get this far in one of my home colonies, but I did not actually, it was a huge logistical clusterfuck, so as usual, when I learn a new technology, I have to start over from scratch and make it over again. Because usually what you do in this game is when you discover a new thing, you fuck it up the first time, and you have to completely tear everything down and start over. That's how it was with me with plumbing and airflow and ultimately Atmos suits. So I think the way it works is you build the checkpoint first. That lets your duplicants know that if they go past the checkpoint, they have to put on Atmos suits. So you put the Atmos suit docks on the other side of that so that they can climb into them. So we will work on that later, but first, what we're going to do is, like I said, I think we will start with our basic, let's see, do we want to do, yeah, there's a lot of CO2 right now. If these guys focus, it won't take them very long to do basic research, so we will put them on basic farming so we can compost our polluted dirt and produce our algae terrariums to clean up some of this carbon dioxide. Then we will probably pivot to advanced research and move on from there. What's up?
Does the research go up on their own, or do the duplicates
No,
have
as you can see right here, Nicola is down here working at the research station. You can build more research stations to do more research. Oh, you guys literally have nothing to do right now. Okay. Are there any things? I mean, I guess, but these require power. Do I want to build a separate power circuit over here? So the microbe musher makes food. It's really gross food, but it's what we got. Okay. All right, well, they're going to take a break and take a nap anyway. Let's see, what else systems can I build? So we just got the oxygen diffuser, ladders, storage bins. All right, just for my insanity, I'm going to build a couple storage bins so I can tell them to sweep shit up there. You can build doors. Eventually, you can build airlocks, which actually prevent gas and liquids from passing through.
Yeah. Look at them in their beds.
Oh, actually, that does let me know there's one thing I need to make sure to build, because we will be on our way to another duplicant soon, so it's not there. So the game's very finicky about where you build stuff.
Yeah,
you can easily slide off, so you got to be careful, but we'll... Nope. Nope, not that way. Okay, furniture. We will add 2 more cots to support 2 more duplicants in time. After everybody wakes up, cleans the toilet, washes your hands and all that stuff. All right, Otto's going to do some science right now. Listen, guys, if you have a hard time breathing, just do your science faster. All right, we'll set that to sweep only and all. So that way, if they sweep any materials up, they will store them in these bins for later use. Is there anything else I can really... No. Yeah. Oh, you can build tasteful memorials for when duplicants bite it, so that people have a proper place to grieve.
Tasteful.
Yeah, tasteful memorial. I mean, if you guys really need a task, I guess we can turn this into a room over here.
Oh, hey, this game.
Hello, somebody's actually deigned to speak. Everybody else has been too afraid. Yes.
You're not streaming right now, right?
Well, we're streaming to Discord, but yeah. This is being archived for YouTube, but I don't actually care that much if you guys talk. Like, I don't even know if this is the thing's gonna work. We're testing. Stuff happened. We're testing things tonight, kids.
Yeah, because I've played this before.
Yeah, it was in early access for a long, long time. This is actually the final build, or at least one of the 1.0 builds, right? So,
yeah. I've played it. I didn't do very well.
Yeah, you know, can't make an omelet without breaking a few duplicates. All right, cool. They finished research, so let me immediately go ahead and set the next research step, so please build that. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I'm going to need to build that, too. I need the rock crusher at least before I can build the exosuits because they require refined materials. But, let's see. Alright. Okay. Let's actually pause and let me figure out what I'm doing. So, you guys, build a door there. Build a tile over it. And then dig out this whole room. And we'll turn that into a compost heap.
Yay, compost.
Okay, food. We can build a ration box and planters to grow new food, but I don't think we need to worry about that just yet. Well, we might, actually. I mean, we can put some planters in here. We can build a little farm in here. Turn that into a little farmerarium. And most importantly, I would like you guys to build an algae terrarium there. And one way over here. That should eat up some of that CO2 problem. And also one in the center here.
Step away. I am practicing crafts right now.
It's always good. So as people can see, I am issuing the manual sweep order. I am telling those duplicates to get that crap off the ground and move it somewhere else so I can see the ration bar. Because, again, these guys do almost nothing other than the fact that you schedule times like mealtime, sleep time, etc. They do almost nothing on their own. Other than, like, breathing. And even then, like I said, they will sometimes not do that smartly. Yeah, luckily this is a two-step and a two-step. Otherwise, I would literally have to build a ladder so they could get in and out of this pool if they fell in.
Oh, jeez. Well, yeah, I mean, that's immediately what happened the first. Some guy just jumped in the pool and they're just like, well, okay.
Oh, do you guys not have those in, like, storage? They must not have stored the seeds. Oh, no, okay. They need 3 high. All right, that's my bad. Well, that's, to be fair, duplicates. I didn't know I was turning this into a farm, so demolish those tiles and then build the ceiling 1 tile higher. Often happens. You will occasionally build stuff and not realize how tall it needs to be. All right, so they're going to take their nap. Hopefully tomorrow we can get that fixed up. Over here.
You know, you fucking went into the mental being of me, and the power really fucks up my plan here, man.
Okay. Refinement. So open the refinement tab. Just 3 for now, I think. 3 compost heaps. We can add more later. And there's a simple tech you can build called the deoxidizer. It just uses sand. But it removes polluted oxygen and replaces it with regular oxygen.
Oh, okay, cool.
So there are a lot of little handy-dandy tools. Some stuff is complex. Like, I can't... As far as I know, there are very few... Well, actually, there is a literal research tier called renewable power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can get a steam generator. That is at the very end of a tier. All right, some sand has fallen. I need you to dig that out so you can escape.
As far as I could tell, a lot of this is actually managing your waste more so than using resources.
Well, yeah, there's a combination of the two, right? So you need smart loops, basically.
Loops?
In order to, like, figure everything out. Okay. All right, you guys pump that water.
That to me seemed like the more pressing issue was actually managing your wastes.
Yeah, it depends on what you're doing, right? Like, theoretically, I think I could expand for, like, forever and keep... Well, not forever, but I could keep going, expanding and going various places. But... And find new resources, but eventually you run out of resources you need. So these guys need some fertilizer. There's some fertilizer in my watering hole. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a ladder into the watering hole, and we're going to dig out that fertilizer. Please build the ladder first, nerds.
Oh, let's see.
So we're doing pretty good at keeping our battery packs charged up. That runs all our science and shit. The
Science.
algae terrariums are down here diffusing stuff. And of course, we don't stand on the pitcher pump to build the ladder. We stand in the water first to build the ladder. Again, they're not the brightest.
No, they're not.
Yeah, I know. I sent you in the water to get the fertilizer. It's very important, though.
Okay.
I like all the little animations they have.
Yeah, okay. So let's issue a sweep order. And I'm actually going to make that a sweep order number 9, a priority 9 sweep. So these guys will, over any other tasks, assuming nothing critical is happening, they will prioritize sweepifying our things. So that we can get some of this crap in storage and out of our way. We've got another bigger chamber here. Okay, that's fine. So, let's actually... I don't usually do this, but let's extend out this way. Build me some tiles. Alright, first it's Betty by time.
Sleepy Time Junction.
Oh, there's a shine bug is up here. It's going to bother them. They're not going to sleep good. I'll have to tell them to kill it when it's morning. It's good because it gives my plants free light, but they don't sleep well when there's a literal giant light bulb bug floating around, bothering their eyes. So when we wake up, they will murder this creature.
Do you have the ability to put down doors yet?
Oh yeah, I can put down doors. It's just this thing's in a cycle where I don't have any good place to put a door. So Ethan must go. I will build a manual light up here for my plants later because what I was talking about there is I'm going to expand this out this far and get some of that delicious coal and copper. We need that for later. And then we're going to put another... I'm going to put another power circuit. I'm going to put a couple manual generators here. And some battery packs. And we're going to put their microbe mushers up here so they can make new food. Because we do only have 14,000 kilocalories around.
And how many guys?
We're on 4. All right. So, Mr. Nicola will now get his advanced research hat, which means he can use the supercomputer when we build it.
Oh, the hats actually do stuff?
Yeah, the hats signify what skills you've got. I don't know if they, like, you're locked into the skill of your hat. I think it's just, it shows that they can do different stuff and have different priorities. I don't know, but it's
So
good.
you can be a person of many hats?
Yes. And they literally wear the hat, so I can always tell who's got what. Like, so Grossman's got the digging hat here, and Nicola's got the science hat. So right now they're doing the storage order I've issued them to do, which is good. So they're going to pick up a lot of copper ore and stuff. They're going to fill these bins. We might even want to tell them to build a 3rd storage bin, just to be safe. Now, eventually, one of the technologies I have not figured out at all yet is automation. Much like Minecraft automation, there's automation. There are green signals and red signals and shit. Haven't figured out any of that stuff yet. Okay, they killed the bug.
Automation in any resource management game has never been my strongest suit. I think except for Factorio. I was okay at it in there.
Isn't Factorio built around automating itself, basically?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, but you also, at a certain point, you need to start messing with signals.
Well,
yeah,
for
okay. That kind of automation.
Factorio is about basically trying to make a proper layout to get everything to work on itself, and then realizing, oh, if you expand too much, you'll get bugged. If you make too much pollution, you'll get bugged. There's not really that many big feedback loops in what do you call that thing? Oxygen not included. They don't have really anything like really hostile besides the environment that's coming for you.
Yeah.
It's true. You won't get any... As far as I know, you can build some automated things. Like, you can build the auto sweeper, a.k.a. a Roomba. It doesn't, like, go crazy and try to kill you. It will just run out of battery power. All right, so we can pick either Meemaw or Liam. So Liam is a pacifist. but he uses less air. My only other thing is I could get some eggs, which could either hatch into something or I think it's a second tier food item you can build is the egg cracker. You can turn creature eggs into meals.
Yeah, but you can turn creature eggs into broken open eggs, egg foodish.
Rations, but let's
The
go
other thing
ahead
about
and
shrine nip
print
is like
them.
the thing about certain animals is that as long as they're not domesticated, they will stick around and in a you don't have to feed them state, like in a passive state, in a passive like
Yeah,
wild
but I'm
state.
not. That's another system I'm not very good at is ranching. So
Yeah.
it's not what we're focusing on tonight yet, though. Do I want to build a door over here? No. Well, let's stick to what I said I would build. Get me the
Can I loop this back through the other way?
build me 2 micro mushers up here real quick. Oh, okay. So we got access
Weird.
to.
I thought for a moment you were going to be streaming this to YouTube. I was like, wait, what's Omega doing over here?
Oh, so you're not keeping up on the news. I was going to stream this to YouTube, but currently we cannot.
Ah, oof.
Yeah.
Rip.
So we're experimenting with this. This is streamed to Discord, and we'll have an archive that I'm going to try and upload to YouTube. Hey, OBS, how you doing? Oh, you're doing fine. Everything's going okay. All right, great.
I'm having a little bit of a weird moment here.
What's up, Lucky?
What's
Well, I'm playing
Uh,
Solaris right here, and for some odd reason, despite my fleets having the exact same thing in all of them, three out of 4 of them have like 10 more fucking what's the term?
Capacity?
Are using 10 more command limit uses than the other one, and they're stronger. So I'm like, how?
is there like a weird event ship that you got put in the
No,
fleet?
no. I got a couple of event chips, but I put them on the L gates because I'm never, ever leaving them unguarded, ever again.
Yeah.
Sure.
The other thing I might think of is, do your other fleets have fleet logisticians versus that fleet having someone that actually gives a statistic bonus?
No, well, actually, me.
How are you
Let
on
me
that? What are your admirals, essentially?
Well, the only admiral. Wait, hang on. The only well, actually, hang on. Let me actually look at this dude, because the only skill he has is aggressive, but he is the only person on the fleet. But the thing that kills me is that the fleet is weaker too than the other ones.
Yeah,
Like,
because they might be taking into account traits.
Well, hang on. I don't like. I'm hijacking a mega stream here, so I'll just.
That's
go
okay.
Discord.
I was just quietly fiddling with my research while they slept. All right,
Trying to figure out how to balance all your different gases.
Yeah, I posted it in the general, but like all of these fleet, except for the new ships, bottom, all of these ships have the exact same.
Are all of them equally up to date? Because it looks like they need to be upgraded.
Well, upgraded or not, there are only 5 corvettes and 5 destroyers. They should only equal 15. I'm trying to figure out where that extra 10 fleet limit's coming from, and that extra power.
Where were they built from? That could also be the place where they were manufactured that has upgrades.
Let me just clean it. Let me just get them up to date. This guy's eyeing one of my fucking
Oh, I
planets.
thought they
anyway.
moved away from that.
I mean, if I remember,
because it was
Well, Lucky
kind
also
of
doesn't.
starting to bog things down.
I don't know if Lucky has any DLC updates. I don't know if those are all free.
Oh no, I spent like $100 on fucking.
Oh, you
DLC
bought all?
for
You
fucking-
did buy all the DLC? Okay.
No, I didn't buy all of it. I bought like most. I didn't get the fucking species packs.
the
Like,
madman.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
that's
say
what
I
happens
could've-
with Paradox games.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get like the Necron or whatever, but I got like every single other one, and I appreciate them. I get space dragons. I unleash nano fucking plagues. I'm still not over that.
Yeah,
What,
that
the
was.
Nano
When was that? Was that was that before our latest Star Wars game? Was you were
Yeah,
just
no,
dealing
I-
with your nano plague problem, and everybody was
Yeah,
just like,
no.
"It's rough, Lucky."
Yeah, I still haven't gotten to the point where I've opened an L gate yet because
You shouldn't. Just don't. Just don't. I'm telling you this. Just don't.
Oh, right. That's what I was gonna do.
Look, there's
I
candy
shared
and
a- like, I
happiness on the other side.
Like I shared a picture with the tabletop group of what was left of the fucking Empire after.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. Lucky was like everybody had like super shrunk. Okay, so we did the research on what did I? Guys, what did I ask you to research? Oh, it was brute force refinement, right? Because I will need material refinement later. Okay. So let's see. In order
Okay,
to
so let's see.
get to this, we will need to do all that stuff.
Actually, just one of those really, really granular games where different materials had different traits and like.
Yeah,
both
depending
in
on what you have, like if
conductivity-
you can dig up like basalt and stuff, you can actually get heat resistant materials, which at least I appreciate, right? Rather than have there be like 4 different recipes for like, here is the fireproof bed. You can just make a bed out of something that's more heat resistant, but
Mhm.
Oh.
Or the for this thing, it's like you have things have things like most metals have a traits like conductivity and thermal mass and everything else like that of how much heat it can absorb
yeah.
and sink essentially.
Okay.
The game
so-
actually the game has some like conceits for the simulation in its own right where you don't end up in a heat death scenario where you vent fucking in heat.
Yeah, because we're in the
After a
middle of an
certain point.
asteroid that where, like, I think, like, way above me, probably, is space. Is just raw
Yeah.
space.
Yes, you are in you're in a basket essentially.
So I have
So
never
you want
actually gotten
to-
that far. That's yet another system I've never cracked quite, because usually I get myself down a logistical clusterfuck hole of, like, well, everything ran on coal, and now I'm out of coal, but because I have no power, I can't run any of my oxygen setup so that my duplicants can leave the base and not die.
You can essentially run. There is an achievement for this, and it is completely possible to run everything off of foot power.
Yes, which I have. This time I'm being a little safer. Like I'm keeping my power blocks separate wherever I can, and I'm queuing them up so they start with a couple manual generators and some batteries because
You will
absolutely accidentally be like, oh, we're out of coal. Everything is turned off. Rip.
It's also the fact that and the batteries have a decay cycle because they vent basically oxygen not included is very much a game of transference where everything is turned into everything else.
Yeah, I've noticed
Like,
that. Now that means it's very easy if you choose to turn things you want into other things.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's actually like really easy for like something I may end up doing because I do have a decent amount of like carbon dioxide settling at the bottom of some of my tunnels. Like if I get access to it, I can set up a carbon skimmer really easy and just out all this this carbonated air, and it will produce polluted water, which I can then put through a different machine to turn into fresh water. But all that takes power, and also
also, I
takes me
think
not accidentally crossing any of the streams with the pipes.
Yes, and also the fact that you want to make sure that you doesn't get things like normal air or something like that. If I remember, no, wait, it's not all normal air.
Yeah, the
the
carbon skimmer just removes carbon dioxide, so they need
Yeah.
they need another source of breathable oxygen, but we can work around that.
It doesn't make oxygen; it just removes carbon. So you end up with like a very thin oxygen layer
Okay,
down there.
all right. Can you?
Yeah, I was gonna
guys
say
do
you
that?
end up with a vacuum. I
So
assume.
carbon, very sterile. If you want to store anything like say food, you can make a carbon sump, a sink, and just stick your food down there, and it won't get germs.
And
or anything
yeah,
else
this
like that.
system also has, for everybody at home, does have a thing where like different gases go different places. You'll notice how CO2 in areas tends to settle, oxygen rises, hydrogen rises even above that. I think chlorine also settles. So if you are about to hit a pocket of chlorine, you can set it up so that it drifts down. Chlorine is also very sterile. It has germ-killing
And
properties.
later on, you can do certain things like if you find really cold bits, you can freeze your oxygens and or chlorines and everything else like that as ice or
Yes,
you
there
could just
are. If you
pump
get
them
further
into
enough
a
down the
storage tank.
tech tree and you figure out different areas, because there are superheated and super cooled areas, like that's phosphorite.
There are
But there's
things-
igneous rock down there. There may be there may be
Mm.
like a volcanic biome like over here somewhere.
Yeah. Like Oxygen Not Included is actually one of the games where the easiest start of any of these things is to
Oh, there's a steam vent.
do an ice biome, do a frozen biome because that way you have a lot. Because the main thing you run into mid game, the thing that will start murdering your entire thing is the thermal trap you run into.
Yeah, you got to be careful
Or-
about heat. So far I haven't run into it directly. I've spread it enough and not started like right next to any superheated biomes. But you can, if you build too far too fast, you can absolutely be like, oh shit, everything is like 100 degrees. You're all dying.
Or if you industrialize too much, you will start like your dupes plus your electricity and everything else like that will start producing so much heat that you start taking up in the tens of degrees and just making everyone's life miserable.
Yeah, I talked about this earlier when it was just Lucky in the audience about coal generator. Like, coal generators are pretty reliable so long as you have coal, but one of their byproducts is heat. So you do have to be careful to not, like, stack 5 of them together because you'll superheat everything. I prefer to spread out power, especially because, like I said, I often run into problems where all my circuits are on too much together and they get overloaded and will damage themselves.
Yeah, the main thing is you need to make sure that your circuit buses are all like separated enough so that it saves on power because your batteries will bleed in electricity as heat until you get to the later like smart batteries, which is the least bleed, but they don't store that much.
So I'm gonna try and set this up so that these guys can. We're gonna turn this area, this natural pool. Let me square this up a little, actually. I'm planning on turning this natural water pool into a dump for polluted water, which we will then cycle out. Because it's important, everybody, to know where your waste areas will be and pre-plan them.
Also, there's a thing I learned. Like I have played a bit of and watched a lot of Watching Not Included. One of the like brain shot the fucking most like amazing things I ever saw once. You can make your watch stations directional, where you can point them in which direction you want them. Like if they're going this way, they watch their hand. Because right now they're omnidirectional.
Yeah.
Set direction, bottom right, top left.
Yeah, you can figure this out. I don't actually know if right now for this setup that matters.
That means, the thing is, since you have all your toilets like on the left side, they'll wash their hands going in and wash their hands coming out. If you just want them to wash their hands going out, you can just set it up for that, so you're saving on water.
Actually, that is a good question. Which
and
direction
also
is
it reduces the amount of wastewater you produce as well.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, okay. Only set it to when they're moving left. They're moving right to left. And then that way is set it when they're moving left to right. So if I set it that way, then they will actually only do it if they go the other way and need to.
Yes.
All right, so right now we seem to be... We're a little bit busy where people keep trying and needing to charge up our generators. That's okay.
That is a proper that is a proper dupe thing to do.
Yeah, it could be worse. They could not be doing that.
Idly dupes as it did. Have you ever, speaking of the godchild of the godfather of management of giant management and farm games, have you ever looked into Dwarf Fortress?
I have looked at it before, but I have never really been able to wrap my brain around it. Like,
okay, I'm just dumb.
It might just be because it's mostly like ASCII characters.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, okay, hold on, my brain's having a hard time visualizing this, but I could probably figure it out now if I tried. I just haven't thought about it in a few years.
Yeah, that's the like great granddaddy of all these of this type of game, where it's gotten even more granular as time has gone on.
Okay, wait. So I gotta. All right. So we'll.
Lucky, you sounded like you made a discovery.
Yeah, no, you guys can just keep telling the Maker what to do. It's fine.
I'm sorry.
No, I mean it's fine. I'm just playing Star Wars over here, listening.
He's listening. He's learning.
It's like it's not. It's just be like, oh, there's this cool thing I remember hearing because I never thought about this before, but I didn't mean to. Anyway, so how are your Solaris going?
Oh, so I'm sorry. I find it hilarious. I was like, no, you don't worry about me. And you're like, no, we're gonna make this conversation about you. And I'm like,
Well, I mean, Lucky. To be fair, these are the two sides of the Lucky. There's the Lucky doesn't want you to care about him. Stop looking at me, and then Lucky desperately wants you to care about him.
yeah,
They sound similar.
They do sound similar.
All right, so we got some new guys.
Lucky may be a rabbit, but he's very much the cat, where the cat either wants you to pet him but will be aloof, or if you pet the cat, you get clawed.
No, what are you talking about? Rabbits are like that too.
I have not had rabbits. Have you had rabbits before?
Oh yeah, no, my ex bred them for food and pets.
Huh.
All
Handy.
right, so we've added a new member to the squad, Ruby. Ruby is good at doctoring, if that ever comes up. It doesn't come up a lot in no sweat mode, but it can absolutely be a thing where, like, if we get into some more intense biomes, duplicants will be like, "Hello, yes, I have nearly died. I would like to relax and also maybe get healed."
Yeah.
Okay, so
It is very much a thing where Doctoring, unfortunately, in this game sometimes can feel like it's not really all that fleshed out.
That said, there is at least a medical tree, and while I stopped
across the
working on
room.
that colony for reasons, I did build a colony that had one just medical fabber that the doctor was always working at, and my duplicants very frequently went up there to like eat vitamin pills and shit that were made. So they at the very least they utilized whatever resources I was working on.
The best one, which is the placebo, just take this pill and make you feel better.
Let's build one more outhouse just so we don't have a mass
This is
overload.
my mining planet, right? Yeah, let's get some
I think we're at downtime, yeah.
mining. Yep, mineral purification plant. Boom. Make that shit.
We've developed airlocks and airflow tiles. That's good. Working on some ventilation shit. So airflow tiles let air flow through them still, so they allow gas pressure to pass, which is both good and bad depending on what you need.
Mm-hmm. Gas types and the fact that like there is a thing in this game where if you have too much pressure in one room, your dupes will have their ears burst.
Yeah, so you need to be careful about your air pressure levels. Luckily, I think we've got enough spaced out that we can work on that, and we'll also figure out some other systems. Do I have access to... Okay, so we have gas pumps and stuff. That's important. And I will need the rock crusher at some point. I'll have to figure out where heavy industry goes in here.
Hey, Omega. What's
Hey,
the
X.
current plan right now?
So the current plan, especially because some people have joined late, is right now for the Discord stream / archive I'm making for YouTube, because OBS is recording this right away. It's chugging along. Is I'm trying to bum rush exosuit technology to figure that out, because I had some issues the other night when I assembled it without pre-planning, which is often what happens in Oxygen Not Included, is you'll unlock a new technology and be super excited and then realize it needs like 3 different plug hookups and you've built it in completely the wrong section of your base, and then you cry. And then you make a new base.
At least it's not like Dwarf Fortress where like your people, your workers just suddenly go mad and make an entirely new hull of your base.
That's true. At the very least, while duplicants can get stressed and do have their own stress responses, I don't think any of their stress responses is go rogue and build whatever they feel like.
Or go rogue and destroy things, go rogue, murder each other. And all that kind of stuff.
Well, there is a stress response called destructive. So yes, some duplicants will actually freak out and like take their monkey wrench to your own shit. You got to watch out for those guys. Don't let them get stressed. Okay.
Is that why you make arcade machines if you can?
Yes, you can build arcade machines. Right now, I can build massage tables. They're electric though, so.
One other thing about the stress means is that one of the main things you get in stress in this game is making people a little overtraining them, because if you look at a person's skill thing, there is a expectation of of their surroundings plus morale system.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
if you make them
got,
too
like,
skilled,
this
they-
guy's at like 1-to-1. That one needs only 1 morale, but currently is getting 3. This one's
There's a thing
1-to-1,
of
1-to-1.
if they're so skilled, I think they become so prideful of themselves that they feel like they won't do anything below their station.
Yeah, they have their own little quirks and stuff. Yeah, I know. We're producing unrefrigerated lice loaf. It'll eventually get out of there. It's
I assume
fine.
like every time you restart, you like redo all your progress, or at least if you research and unlock something, can you try again and at least know it's there on the table?
also
Well,
that
yeah,
you
no, you can view all the table. Mostly, it's just learning lessons about like what goes where, what
When and
outputs
how.
has, because that is the thing that the game doesn't let you look up very well. Like, it's hard to, until you can build something after researching it, figure out exactly what its inputs and outputs are.
Basically, you have the
So-
manuals, but you have to learn application yourself.
Yeah, you have like it'll give you all the pieces. You can research them all. Like I know exactly what techs lead to exosuit building, and now that I've experimented with that, I know how what I do, because the Atmosuit docks will need whatchamacallit. They will require like oxygen hookups and power hookups, but also they will require duplicants to have enough skills to actually use them. So we will have to also build a skill base.
This is a game I feel like I could never do without probably panicking myself. But I was fun watching you do it.
I just realized there's a slight problem in our current ladder placement because there's sand here, but there's only 2 blocks, I guess. So
There's one thing I have to say about Oxygen Not Included. It's
Okay,
very
you'll
much a
follow
game
them.
more about design, because essentially you make machines where you design things where certain of your tools interact with each other properly. Like there is an entire
Yeah,
setup.
I haven't actually I haven't like gotten into it, but you can absolutely build like there are pipes for everything, literally everything, including solids. They're conveyor belts. So you can build an auto miner, which will mine all resources in a certain area. The auto miner will load that on a conveyor belt. The conveyor belt will pump the solids out. The solids will then either go into storage containers, or you can put them into like a metal forge, which will melt them down and liquefy them and then dump them out somewhere else and all kinds of stuff. I haven't gotten super into that either, but I know like you can move everything everywhere in this game, and as was said earlier, you can turn anything into anything else. What is my current priority tab?
Well, it's not just that. There's also things where like you can make production loops through to things turning things into other things. So
Yeah,
like
I've
there
talked
is
about that
a
before.
thing called the there is a hydrolysis machine where it splits oxygen water it takes up water and splits it to oxygen and hydrogen.
Yeah.
Then you have a hydrogen generator
Yep.
that basically takes the hydrogen, turns it into power to power the oxygen maker.
Yeah, I've done that loop before. You build a little self-contained room. You put your hydrolyzer in there. It'll split the two. You put your gas pump in the top because hydrogen rises, kids. It's very light. It rises. Do not build your gas pump at the bottom of the room, or all the oxygen will sit. Didn't learn that lesson from experience or anything. And then you can then pump it out. You have to pump it through a filter, though, because some oxygen will get in. And that is one thing, is that things that are designed to only handle one thing will get damaged if you pump the wrong thing in. So if you have a gas pump that doesn't have a filter to separate out the hydrogen, you will absolutely damage your hydrogen generator by pumping O2 and CO2 into it.
There are ways with the signal system to essentially there's like a gas pressure like detector
Yeah,
thing.
you can do a lot of automation stuff to make that less of a problem, but first, for things that require single gases anyway, you can also just build a filter really easy and be like, filter, pump out all the hydrogen out of this pipe, dump everything else out of this pipe somewhere else.
The main thing is where the filter system though is that the filter takes power, unfortunately. So
Yeah, you got to be careful about your loops.
yeah, you have to be
Okay.
careful about it's very much a finicky thing of how much energy you produce versus how much
All right,
you
guys, I
can
really
consume.
want you to work on this project because I really want to dump this polluted water that's pooping up our downstairs industrial area, please. So, finish this tank, and then we're gonna build some bottle emptiers, and we're gonna dump polluted water in here, and then eventually we're gonna build a pump down here. It's gonna work on all this stuff.
My first colony got destroyed because I didn't realize until it was too late that polluted water actually produces polluted air.
Yes, it produces
Oh.
polluted air. Now again, you can there's a piece of tech for literally everything. It's just a question of whether or not you have access to it. Yeah, I know, guys. You're not having a good time. You're drowning.
If I remember
fix it.
correctly, the thing that fixes polluted air is the what do you call it? Basically, it's the smoke device.
Deoxidizer. Yeah, I believe it only uses sand.
And it produces
Yeah.
polluted earth, which you take to the composter.
Yeah, so you can fix all that stuff pretty easily.
Have you
Yeah.
seen any the little crawly, the little bitey mouth thing? Oh, go ahead.
I have seen some hatches.
Yeah, the hatches. That's what it is.
Create
I think we got. There's one right
very
there.
cold room and actually freeze the air.
So here's someone in the background there. Hatches are very interesting because if you want to make an entire like hatchery and all that kind of such, not only does it make you food and so forth like that, but it's like if you can breed special kind of hatches that take other materials, like you can feed them pollutant dirt and so forth like that, and you get hatches that produce slime and such like that, which allows you to
Interesting,
add
that's
more like algae and all that stuff.
Yeah, I have seen in the wild not a hatch, but a different kind of creature that lives in this kind of biome, like igneous rock and hydrogen areas. I forget what it's called, but it eats rot and polluted dirt. So they're actually like they will eat your trash.
Is that the crab?
It looked more like an
thing?
oozy type, like a goop thing.
Oh yeah, it's one of the because there's a various form of those goopy boys that will start. I mean, there's one of them that makes that takes carbon dioxide and makes oil out of it.
Oh, that would be really
So-
handy. Oil is a technology I have also because I've never explored far enough to find any oil.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're
One
completing
thing
a
I do
lot of
like
research.
about Factorio, because it was mentioned earlier, is that you can actually make it multiplayer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I talked about this with Lucky at the start of the stream that there's currently no multiplayer version of this. This same
Yeah.
company did make Don't Starve Together, so I wouldn't be surprised if they could figure out a way to do this multiples mans.
Oh,
But
that's-
the core way it's made is different. So
I haven't
Yeah.
touched Don't Starve in years.
I've never
It's-
actually. I might own it. I think it's still just on my wish list, but I have never actually played Don't Starve or Don't Starve Together alone.
I've not gotten terribly far in Don't Starve.
I tried it. I think when it came out like that year, and then I never touched it again.
All right, so when these guys wake up, they wake their lazy butts up, and they decide to finish this project, we will have a water dump here. I will dump bottles of polluted water into this tank.
Another thing you could do after you get to a certain level of dupe population, you can diversify your workforce in shifts.
Yeah, I've done that before. I've had enough people who are like morning people and night people to be like, okay, so you have increased productivity during the night cycle, so you don't actually go to sleep at night. You stay up, and then you can sleep in the morning when everybody wakes up. You can also have morning people. You can have them basically wake up early, get ready, and go about their day.
Have you ever looked at the room system, by the way?
So I know how that. Yeah, I've heard of that. I have not actually managed to figure out how to make rooms and get it to do that properly yet.
Basically it's well, do you want me to explain it to you, or do you want to figure it out on your own?
I mean, if you can explain it in a hopefully concise fashion, go ahead, because I haven't really tried very hard yet either.
So rooms are say make a room mostly is like 3-4 tiles high. You use you can be larger. There's a maximum amount of like tile spread you can get on a room. But say have 2 different doors on both ends, the pass through doors, the like the little screen doors, you can use those.
Okay, yeah, just
And depending on what you put in them. So say there is the room chart on the bottom. Where's the room chart here, if I remember correctly? Oh yeah, right there, top right.
room overlay.
Yeah, room
So
overlay, yeah.
basically, what's inside the room, you can scroll over it and show what it does and what results happens when you have it.
Yeah, okay.
So right there, that doesn't have anything any opening or closing, so it will not count.
You probably need to start placing doors and stuff.
Yeah, we'll figure that out. Like for now, like obviously you can prioritize that sort of thing, but for like building here, I wanted to just be like, okay, you need to have enough beds. Like we'll probably cap this
Also,
off with some doors at some point.
It's more
How do you-
important. Later, rooms doesn't very much can be a thing you can work on later on when you design.
Well,
where
yeah,
your
I noticed
focus
that
is
the other
going
night.
to.
I built something that was called, I think it was a power controller, which is it lets you build special like microchips that let your power generators do better. You have to place it in a power plant room. So it's like, I don't think I've set that up because my power generators are all over the place because I'm an animal man. So, yeah, you can when you get to higher tech, it is important to organize stuff into rooms, and
Also,
not
good
necessarily
morning
be
to you
afraid.
guys.
Good morning,
hey,
Loth.
Loth. Yeah,
Oh,
we're on
good evening,
Discord. We're
Loth.
doing stuff.
So how do you check if the
Well-
air's polluted or not?
You hover it over and it'll tell you. Like right now, there's a thin layer of polluted oxygen here.
There's
You see
also-
you see the green bubbles off to the left there near the algae terrarium?
Yeah, that's my. Okay, actually, you guys probably need to. I don't
You
like to
also
fuck with the
have the-
priorities
Make,
too
like-
much, but could you please build those faster?
You also have the gas overlay on the top right there next to overlays.
Yeah, which one is it? It's
Left.
right. It's this one all the way over there. Yeah. So right now, this is pretty breathable. Like honestly, polluted oxygen just has a risk of them getting sick, which can be
Mhm.
bothersome, but is not immediately the worst.
The thing is that it's a environment in which you can get things like different germs to incubate in. So say it's not like it is in itself inherently.
Okay, we got a lot of
Destructive.
calories, so I don't think we
You
need.
probably just wanna
nutrient
filter out.
bars. Well, yeah.
You
When
probably
I
just
when
wanna
I can build
filter
deoxidizers, I will build them because that's a very easy technology. But let's see.
Yeah,
Okay.
Just make
We're not gonna pick Lindsay because she farts. We already have enough problems. Let's see.
Yes, she will make natural gas and be not
Yeah.
very useful.
So we've got
Or Ada will just fall
Ada's
asleep.
falls asleep periodically.
Or you can be a animal man and just take Lindsay and put her in her own special little room area and seal her off and lock her off. That's where she has food and everything. She just produces you natural gas over time.
Yeah, we're
Building
not
a
set
hard
up to do
machine.
natural gas stuff yet, though.
Yeah.
If I was,
Like-
though, that would absolutely be the kind of pro strat moves you can do.
Some
could
of the
just-
stuff
this guy's
in
good
this game is
machinery.
nuts because I remember finding
go
a
with
guide. It's like, hey, what you should do is build refrigerators, but don't hook them up to the grid. Put them in a place filled with CO2 and no oxygen, and they'll just be fine.
It's also
totally.
the food box too that does that too.
Yeah. Well, I think the guide was like refrigerators because they hold more space than the food box.
All right, so now I have set it so that the duplicants will sweep polluted water into these things, and they
You
can dump
start
them
making
out.
like for like those areas to like the emptying area. You think you'll start making like are there like pressure gates you could make just so like to keep the gas in?
Yeah, you can make airlocks, which will keep out. You could make like right now these tiles are airtight. You can make airflow tiles, which are not airtight, but you can build various facilities so that you can keep stuff in. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to throw a water pump down here, and we're going to pump. Once this is polluted water, we're going to pump it out and
There is also things
turn
you
it
can
back
do
into
with
clean water.
There's also things you can do with fluids to make fluid locks where you
Yeah, there's
make
there's
a
variety of
you make
stuff.
a one tile reservoir in a L, basically in a double L shape, where you have so that the dupes can get down into it and get up out of it, but gases can't pass through it.
Are all of your characters getting food poisoning?
No, I don't think they're getting.
Because every time they use the restroom, they say they get food poisoning.
No, they're producing food poisoning.
Oh,
Yes, they're building up towards it, but hopefully they are. Otto?
Oh, they themselves are not
Oh,
getting.
Otto, you lost access to your cot because some sand fell. Because you guys are dumb. You're digging before you're building the roof. You animals.
Yes, they are.
You
this is
are
where you need
really
to step
bad at
out
this,
and-
guys. Okay, priority tool. That is now build that first. Dig second. Thanks, guys.
Yeah,
Poor
maybe
Otto
the-
had to take a nap in front of the fucking wash basins outside the lavatory, like an animal.
So the way of it is that since they go to the restroom, they're producing food poisoning germs, which is why they're saying plus food poisoning.
Yeah.
And if they were to say cross contaminate those germs with say your food supplies, there's a chance that people, if they were to eat, say,
Because there is one of these buttons. Which one is it? Ventilation, decor, germ
germ
overlay.
one.
There it is. So as you can see, we have some slight germ sources. It does look like somebody has forgotten to wash his hands. So that ration box does have some slightly poisoned items in it. Maybe I should build another wash station there so they can scrub better.
Yeah.
And
Also
eventually you
next
can
to-
access hand sanitizing stations. So they can just, squid up.
Word of warning with those hand sanitizing stations, you need something called bleach stone for it. I didn't
Yeah.
find that out until I built one and went, oh shit.
Yeah, there are a lot of cases, like I said earlier, where you can build stuff and not realize, oh, it needs this blah 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 resource I've never dug before. Like there's a very easy machine that turns polluted water into fertilizer. It requires phospholite to basically catalyze. So
phosphorite.
if you don't dig up some phosphorite, which there's some deposits over here somewhere in these areas. Actually, yeah, that's literally phosphorite. So, like, I have a source to it, but if you don't know you need that, you will build a whole elaborate plumbing machine and then only find out, oh, this system dead ends because I don't have any of this resource to fuel it. Whoops.
Under food, into
Not just
oxygen,
there
and
is talking about bleachstone. There is an animal I do believe that consumes.
Let's take care of some of
I
this.
want to say it's chlorine, and it makes bleachstone. It poops out bleachstone.
That would make sense because chlorine is one of those things that, like, I think it's the rust purifier, produces oxygen and chlorine from rust, and then you got to be like, okay, what do I do with chlorine besides build natural stuff?
You do. What's up, Lucky?
A space amoeba followed me home.
That
Oh,
is
is it-
adorable.
Is it cute? Does it think she's your mama?
Dig out
Yes.
this copper roof.
Well, you're gonna go hang out at the here.
Also, though, that said, I really need one of you guys to finish this dig. Let me check. What are your internal priorities, nerds? Okay, let's make you slightly prioritize the things you were good at. That should ideally make it so that the duplicants will focus on the things they're good at.
There is a one command called so you know you have priorities.
Yeah, I know you can set yellow alert. I don't want to do that right now. But yeah, you can declare something top priority. They will, other than I think passing out sleeping, they will literally stop everything and all go focus on that task, even if it's not what they're best at. You want to do that sparingly though, because that means that they will stop running on generators. They will stop researching, and you can
And I
you can
believe-
get backlogs of shit
Oh,
if you're not
sorry.
careful.
Also,
And I
you
believe
can,
they'll also get stressed from it.
Yeah, they don't
and
like it.
also you can do really dumb things like yellow alert things that they can't actually do.
Yes.
Like say you make a yellow alert in a place they can't get to.
All right, so he's gonna pick up all that water stuff. So hopefully we should start dumping our polluted water down into here now.
Thankfully, polluted water settles at the bottom, and they don't have a method of where polluted water taints clean water, fresh water. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that is kind of sad that means that I have to do something else to displace this water, but it does make it way easier to build a fucking water pump down here and just be like, water pump water
Pump
into
water.
pure water machine, make pure water, and then probably what we'll do is we'll run a pipe over here and just like stick a vent somewhere and be like, pure water, dump into this thing where I've already built my pitcher pump to get it out of here.
There's another thing I would say for you to another thing to mention for you to consider is that you know how we were talking about rooms earlier, right?
Yeah.
There are
Actually, that's a
certain
good question. Is
rooms
there a
you
water
can't
room?
make yourself. So say you look over at the rooms and say look at park and nature reserve.
Well,
Those
there is
re-
a sign you can put in there, but you
Yeah,
need
you
some
can put a
stuff
sign
in there.
down, but anything like that where you were making with those things, they require natural like wild plants.
Yeah, you got to be careful
So-
not to dig everything up. I see.
Yeah, you can't dig them. You can't dig all the plants up because those are the park and nature reserve is really good for making areas where you can de-stress. Like you can make them where people go in to take a break because there's a break time.
Recreation
time-
room?
Yeah, you make a well, not really recreation room.
Yeah,
You can
recreation room is
set
there.
those
You can
as
do that.
recreation
For
room there.
de-stress.
Like, so
Yeah,
here,
it's a good
I'll
place where you
I'll
get
pull
morale from.
my cursor away so everybody can see all the list of everything. So there's misc rooms, there's latrines, washrooms. So let me check what the latrine is. Toilet, wash station, no industrial machinery, max size 12 tiles. So if I moved this ration box, I could make this actually count as a latrine, probably.
Actually, if you were to if you were to say take that see that thing that outline you have for when you're building. If you were to remove that, put a door there, and put a thing above the door above it, and lock that part up, you can probably turn that entire area over there into a latrine area.
Actually, yeah, sure. Let's experiment with that. Since I'm just killing time. Escape to get out of this menu. So, yonder duplicants.
Oh, I got to name her. My name her Nyx.
Put a tile right there.
Yeah, just
You don't,
roof this all off.
you can use natural natural.
Yeah, but I also, maybe want to get some of these resources out anyway.
True.
Need that sweet, sweet algae.
Oh
Algae,
yeah,
you need
so
to
much
breathe.
algae.
Well, luckily there is a machine later. I've never actually successfully dug up any slime to power it, but there is a machine which turns slime into algae and also
Yeah, the
produces
problem with-
polluted water.
Yeah, the problem with algae though, sorry, not algae, slime is that you can get slime lung.
Well, so that's why I
Mhm.
really want to figure out Atmos suits, right? Like that's tonight's goal is to figure out the Atmos suit and use it appropriately so that
There
I
is-
can send them into safe zones. Like I could have them suit up before they go into this slime clusterfuck. Oh, hey, there's an abandoned facility over here. Neat.
There was a power
Ooh.
move where people would put their entire base into Atmos suits after a certain point.
I mean, certainly a thing you can do. I think that requires specialized skill training, though.
It's actually just if you go take a look at the skill line.
Yeah, you need.
It's skills. It's over there in
I see it. It's
exosuit training right there on the top
Yeah.
far right. So you need both field research and
No, you do
and
not need
Chris
field
Carey.
research. It only connects to carrying.
yeah, well that's rocket piloting we're talking about there, but yeah, it's just carrying.
Yeah, so exosuit training needs those three. Rocket pilot needs all that
Sadly,
stuff.
if you take a look on the left over there, how much morale that usually takes. But if you don't have anyone that like wants to be in a suit,
Yeah, no.
It's gonna
And
take, like,
honestly, that
6
makes sense, though. Can you imagine being trapped in this hellhole and then your invisible space god boss is like, yes, I would actually like you to wear an atmosphere suit at all times.
Mhm.
I would be a little demoralized. I'd be like, okay, boss, what's the plan here?
I
Bless
mean,
you.
considering that it comes
Bless
off
you.
of the improved carrying capacity tree, that shit's probably heavy.
It is
Yeah.
also very yes, it is also very, very fragging heavy.
That
'Cause,
said, you can eventually, if you go down that route, you can eventually get to the jetpack research tech, which I also want to see. I don't know how that works, but I assume that means that they can fucking fly places and like defy gravity and shit.
Would you I have a thing to say about Atmosuits. Do you want me to say it or shall I stay mum on it?
Now, go for it. What do you got? What do you got in mind? Because I'm
Okay,
trying to.
so Atmosuits are
Oh, shit.
hilarious because if you don't have someone with Atmosuit training, you can have a person I think who can wear an Atmosuit if they're not trained for it, but they will run at a snail's pace.
Okay, so I want to
Like,
make
in a
sure not to
comically
like
slow
overload
amount.
them with that.
Yeah, it's like a comically slow slow speed.
Yeah, because recently I got to wear a plate carrier with a ceramic plate in it.
Yeah, no,
In the-
body
in the
armor
front
is
and the back.
heavy. People don't understand this. Body armor is fucking heavy because it's ceramic or steel
Yeah.
plates.
Yeah, and
Let's see, you guys have some new skills.
no,
on
you
it?
really do need to train to wear those things properly because
So will this?
if you don't,
All right,
then
that
you just
will
slap some
even
body
out
armor.
your morale, so we can safely advance you to fuel research. Grossman. Okay, we do not want to yet put Grossman at super hard digging because that will exceed her morale need. We can give her improved strength though, so she can tidy better. Mr. Hassan.
Just know anyone any hard thing you can do 1-to-1, so it's very easy to do because they will get a
Yeah,
extra
they get
little
a
thing
bonus out of it. It's just that apparently Mr. Nicola does not have enough of a bonus which was Grossman doesn't have enough of a bonus to go all the way up here. Because they only get +1 and it would take 2. So you got to be careful with these things. But hopefully if we can get this turned into a proper washroom as an experiment,
It might give you a little bit more extra morale.
yeah, it'll give us +1 morale. What are we working on right now? Oh, some of you are
Just
making
hearing the
food.
fucking dupe sounds in the background.
Also, if I remember correctly, to make a so it depends on what recreational items are. The best item they're used for to making a recreation room is that there is an item called a water fountain.
Water cooler,
Wait.
yeah.
Yeah, water cooler, which is basically where you can. That's the thing you use to make a recreation room. Don't be like me and be like, take and put like 3 massage chairs in there and be like, why isn't this massaging?
Yeah, because that needs power. No.
No,
All right.
power at a certain point doesn't become nearly as a big a deal because either you have isolated enough dupes to run on the hamster wheels, and you've isolated enough of your circuits so that they don't you're not trying
Yeah.
to feed an infinite supply of hungry batteries that are continuously decaying.
Yeah, there's a lot of slow descent into entropy involved in this.
Yes.
I also am going to possibly turn this into a barracks.
Also, there's another thing too about water dynamics is that you would think that you turn polluted water into fresh water and that would be it, but no. If you're not careful, your fresh water will have germs in, and that's an entire different bag of worms of figuring how you kill off germs in your fresh water.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a technology for that too. There's something for everything. Oh, does somebody still have a skill point? What you got? Who's got it? Catalina.
It is actually basically a setup where you either have to figure out how to boil, either you boil it,
Yeah.
or are a mad lad and chlorinate it.
Now, you can it's a higher level technology, but there are certain pipes and conductors which will heat liquids as you put through them. So you can absolutely build like a still, boil your water, pump it out, and then have it cool somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You could even be like, ironically, like put a fucking pitcher pot in there, have them pump the hot water, put it in an ice maker to make ice, which you can then use to cool stuff. But okay, so you're gonna.
It is
clean up
very much a
everything here.
design. It is a thing you need to figure out how to design.
Yeah. Okay. So what?
I haven't
station
played
do
this
you
in a
know?
while, but
Alright.
isn't temperature control still kind of a pain in the ass in this game?
Yeah, it's something you gotta be aware of. Like right now, we're pretty spread out. Where's
It
Temper
is
Relay?
very
Yeah.
often dealing with temperature.
So this
the
is
final
a
boss.
hot biome that we got to be careful if we want to get into. If we expand that way. All right, so we have developed the ability to build the exosuit forge and the checkpoints. We do not have the refined metals yet to do so. So now we need to figure out. Not that. I need to get out of this.
Yeah, it
overlay is
looks
what I need
like
to do.
you're surrounded by hot biome. Or
That often
warmer
happens. Oh, hey, there's another
I
thing over
remember in
here.
the earlier
Oh,
version.
there's that vent over there.
Yeah, there's a steam vent over here.
Is a cool steam vent, thankfully, so the water the steam it puts out is not nearly as hot as it might be.
No, you will still. I have gotten scalded trying to investigate them if you stand right next to it, but
Yes.
it's not as hot as. I'm gonna guess there's probably some volcanic shit over here in all this igneous rock. I haven't seen lava, but I know it can happen. Well, hell,
I remember-
just if you let earth and materials get too hot, they will melt into a liquid. So yeah, you can absolutely just get magma.
I do remember in the earlier parts of this game, it was temperature control was so bad that there's only like literally one way to cool down, and that's a plant. And eventually, your guys will just die because of
Yeah. There,
There
are,
are
some
methods-
systems like right now there's I don't think I've got it unlocked, but like I think in this, because this is the quote unquote complete version, I think most of the subsystems, like there's stuff for everything. Like here's temperature modulation. It's a third tier tech. It doesn't really take you that long to get to. It gives you the icy fan, which dissipates a small amount of heat, the ice maker, which makes water into ice, the space heater to do the reverse, and then insulated tiles, which are a godsend. And then you can
If
further
you
that
go
into these things.
The end all be all of heat regulation, though, if you go to renewable energies, there is a thing called the
Yeah.
hydraulic.
Where is that? Where is renewable energy? I'm slow crawling everywhere for some
I
reason.
think it's.
Can you just hold and drag?
Yeah, it's slightly faster. Here it is.
when you run
Renewable energy. Let's zoom in.
So you zoom in
We've
over
got
there.
the
The
sauna,
CE
the
thing,
solar panel, the steam turbine.
the steam turbine, where you take heat, you take steam, anything you make into steam, and the thing about the steam turbine, it takes heat and turns it into electricity, so it technically deletes heat,
And it
or
outputs
you can
water.
get it, and outputs water. So
Yeah.
you can
But
make
that's a high-end tech.
yeah,
Can't-
it's basically in-game tech, but that's basically the end all of your of
Hey,
heat,
guys,
heat
look
in
at
your
this.
forge.
We've made a latrine.
Hey,
That's how the
I
screens
like
are-
how the blue light.
How it fills the spaces where I haven't built the tiles yet? Yeah, because they're
Yeah.
animals. That's okay. All right.
But
So,
so you basically build a system where you pump in as much hot stuff as you can, and you do aqua tuning stuff like that, which aqua tuner produces a metric ton of heat, and you use that to basically bleed that into water that turns into steam that gets deleted by the steam turbine that turns it more into aqua that gets produces energy to run the aqua tuners.
Is there gonna be like a penultimate phase where you're literally just trying to add ventilation to everything, so like you can shovel all the gas everywhere to one place?
honestly, probably not. No, you don't want to overload your pipes. Like, really, you want to try and
Also-
build self-contained systems. Like, I should
Yeah,
probably add some
there
more
was a point in
airlines and
time where you
stuff.
don't really want to, make the entirety of the asteroid your base and just make you take a certain part and you industrialize on one part of the base and you separate that from your living area where you keep all your dupes where at a certain point they will all want individual rooms with fancy beds.
Yeah.
So you
Oh
have to
yeah,
make it,
I remember seeing late games up where eventually you just have giant, like, literally just like apartment blocks in
Yeah.
your sectors of the map.
All right. What's our... I guess you guys are more focused on running the power generators. Can't say I'm mad. I would like
Good
you
point.
guys occasionally to build things, though. That would be great.
Did you set up? If you click on the power generators, you can set how much percentage of the battery left they will go onto it.
Yeah, I think the thing is, you know what? Okay, I got it. I know what I'm going to do. I'm actually going to temporarily deprioritize cooking. Because what happens is that these guys, I think, are generating power batteries, which are being used by the micro mushers, and they keep going to the micro mushers to make more food, even though we're at 83,000 kilocals. So, food is not really needed right this second. Yeah, it's all gross shit, but
smooched.
they will... At the very least, they will live for a while.
The power of some high tier farmers is the fact that they can cycle your farms very efficiently and get back seeds.
Yeah.
Because
We're probably gonna need to actually-
the lifeblood of your of getting materials for your base
I think
is
we
your
need to.
dupe press for a while.
Yeah, I think what you guys are going to need to do is actually tear down this farm, and
And
we'll try
another
to build
thing
somewhere
you
else.
need to focus on is to make sure that there is a certain time where you need to make sure that adding more dupes to your base adds more efficiency to your base rather than just
Sucks up
Over-
resources,
yeah.
yeah. Like,
Yeah,
I haven't
overstacking
actually called on the next set because my beds are full and I don't want to give... Obviously, I would not want them to pop out right now and have to take a nap with no bed because I think I'm
or
going to
that,
turn
or you
this
can
into a barracks.
then you can just check what it looks like and see if it's either mill the entire lot or just get the item from it.
So, what do I need to do to build a barracks again? I need
I mean, they're already animals anyway. I mean, they don't even have a table.
requirements, needs...
Yeah, you don't even they don't even have a kitchen or anything else like
Single
that to make
bed.
material food from.
They've got some microbe mushes.
But that's
Well,
not
yeah.
the kitchen. Though. The kitchen is like the dining hall is where you eat. It's kind of like the Dwarf Fortress thing where
Yeah, you need
you're,
a you need a hall to eat where because you can make mess cots and stuff. We have not researched that tech just yet because
Yeah.
we, like I said,
No,
we've been
I
trying
was-
to
I was
actually hold on.
More
Are
making
we
a
off research right
Rimworld
now?
joke.
Yeah, I think
Oh.
we're not on research right this second. Okay, so let's.
Yeah. Eating
There-
without table in RimWorld is the fucking worst. Sorry.
So let's.
This is the
okay,
worst. It's the worst downward mood because it's just bad.
So
I find that really
let's-
stupid.
What do we need? We want.
The RimWorld is very much turns from being a game about base design and turns into just a tower defense game.
Where's sanitation? Well, not sanitation.
Honestly,
Where's my...
Honestly, dealing with the people is more annoying in RimWorld
Here
than
we go,
anything.
decontamination. Let's build some deoxidizers and some carbon
Your own
skippers.
people or other people?
Yeah, my own people. Other people are simple. You either
We're getting
deal
a
with
decent
them
amount of
with
polluted oxygen.
firearms, or
Money.
war crimes, and your own people. You can't really do that.
Yeah,
RimWorld
especially the pyros. Those guys need to be ejected from the colony post haste.
Cut.
Honestly, you'd like psychopaths a lot because they really don't. They really have no issues with a lot of things.
It makes it easy to clean. They're easy for picking bodies after a raid.
All right.
Then
Who do we got?
That and if you are interested in say making complete use of the bowl, you can make materials from from the bodies of people who've raided you.
Okay, so we've got an Ellie who has a decent
Hmm.
spread of skills,
I'll pass.
but is a gourmet. But is weak to
The
germs.
blossom seed can go. I think isn't the blossom like the thing where it makes the bristle blossoms?
Yeah, though I've already got a few. I've just demolished my farm to build a new, better one somewhere else, so I don't really need only two of those.
Don't bristle blossoms require low temperature?
They require light first and foremost. I think is what they need. So, hence why I have to rebuild my farm because it's barracks height, not farm height with lights.
One thing I would recommend is like the next research in the food one, the one that gives you farm tiles. Those are basically tiles dupes can walk across.
Yeah, I know. I know how farm tiles work. I've built those before.
Okay.
We may actually end up
Oh,
doing
Pip.
that. First, I want to...
Pip squeak.
It'll turn into a fully grown Pip. However, I don't really have any care for that. So I think...
Yeah.
Let's see. This guy does have farming as a interest. I will definitely want to build a farmer.
Actually,
He's immune to food
pips are
poisoning.
very good if you want to have them. If you want a natural producing farm, because they will auto bury in normal tiles seeds.
Interesting. Well, I don't think we're going to go too big on the natural, though, but that's good to know. Animals is one of those things I'm not good at. Let's build a Turner, because I will eventually build a farm somewhere in here.
Yeah.
Also
No, I
the
get
fact
that. Like,
Pips are
Yes,
cats,
that's God.
and the funny thing about the cats is they walk on walls.
oh yes, they just you look up and one of them's just
Auto.
upside down on the
All right,
ceiling.
Otto, you can go to plumbing. That's good. I don't know what plumbing
Oh, yeah,
gets you,
question.
but it's important to have.
Question:
lucky how-
do the cook station still delete food?
Hmm.
Because in the earlier games, if you have the grill thing that you use to make grilled mush bars, they will basically delete food by half because it requires 2,000 kilocalories to go in, and the output's only 1,000.
I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
but
it's
I
totally
think
fixed.
I think it sounds like higher quality or it decays slower or something.
Yeah,
Probably.
Like, what do you-
Mush bars will make you? Or mush bars are a pain for your dupes to eat. The only way to make them actually edible is to fry them.
Yeah.
That is the
So
thing.
you're losing half the food, but they're not gonna have like debuffs because they ate a mush bar. The problem is the mush bars are just resource intensive after a while.
Are you guys
The
running
problem
out
with
of
bush bars is that
oxygen?
they will chew through your dirt, and there will be a point in time where you're out of dirt.
That's my
dirt and
materials
water.
overlay. That doesn't matter. Where's my
Mhm.
right here? It's oxygen. Okay, so that's getting polluted. So we're gonna need to get some air pumping in there in a second.
How's Dolores going, Lucky?
It's going fine.
Let's,
My amoeba grew up. Did I mention that?
Did it? No, I mean, you remember you brought it home. You brought it. You came home with you.
Yeah. Well, it's a girl. So I named her Nyx. Apparently, she's a space amoeba mother.
Hmm.
Oh,
So she's gonna hang out at at home and be cute because apparently she's a mascot of the people now. I'm like, yes. This is cool.
yes.
What is your? I must ask. What is your ethics in the game?
I am 1 point. I am fanatically military. Wait, no, it's not. What is it called again? Fuck. Oh yeah, fanatic, militarist, and spiritualist.
The next military. So military spiritualist. And what is your what's your government currently?
Let's see. I am dictatorial, and my civics are exalted priesthood and philosopher king.
Ah, okay. So you are literally the big church of butts.
Yes.
Powerful.
Very,
Honestly,
very
though,
interested.
I think I have to take off the militarist because I can't do the research. I think it's because I'm a militarist. I can't do the research that lets me not fight things.
There is a heavy weight in your research, because basically you know how you draw cards for research, you only have so many.
Yeah. No. I mean, but like, you know, when you run into like the space stations, you do research. Usually, you can unlock the the amoeba pacification thing. Like, I haven't been able to do that like ever since I became military.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that
I
because
believe
I'm-
military. If you're fanatic militarist, they don't let you do that.
Yeah, it is you just have gun. Gun is the only answer to everything and anything in the
The
outside.
gun is
well,
good.
real talk. After
The
fucking
penis
fucking
is
Nanoplague and fucking
evil.
this bitch ass government over here saying that shit is mine. It's not my fault you got boxed in by 4 empires. Fuck you. Actually, hang on, let me show you. Let me show you who's having a fucking bad time here.
The AI in Solaris is a trip.
Alright, I'm gonna go to general here.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, so
Is anyone else's stream flickering back and forth?
Oh my.
Maybe idling because I tabbed over to Discord.
yeah, so right there in the bottom of quarter is the League of Yigmar Prime. They're literally boxed in by the Model 6 databank, the Zin's Empire, the Kurta Termitology, and the Lanex Stellar Mandate. So they're not happy. They
So,
cannot expand at all.
As I think that is that just needs a Blazers tag.
The one thing I love the most is that in that empire, there's just small pockets of a different place.
Well, yeah, that's because that was them trying to fucking expand any way they can, and they can't.
So the thing about Stellaris, where I have a bad habit whenever I play the game, is that in the very beginning of the game, I will bum rush to see if I can find my neighbors so I can throw down like blocks to make sure they can't expand in my directions.
Oh yeah, no, I do that.
Well,
too.
yeah, no, that's
The
it
worst
sounds
part-
like it's pretty standard practice.
The worst problem of that though is that the way they punish you for that is that you have a much higher risk of pirates.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, as I said, like, I don't know. I haven't had too much problem with pirates. As I said, I think it's because I'm fanatically militaristic, and I have like very strong fleets. Like, let's see here. Let me check my score here. Hang on. Pause.
Well, it's also you have fairly well unified your area.
Yeah.
The more open areas you have that are not colonized by anyone at all, connecting to your empire, the higher your piracy rate.
Oh.
Yeah, no, like, out of this clusterfuck of group, only the fucking guys who aren't actually touching me have an equivalent fleet power to me. The other two their fleet power is considered pathetic compared to ours.
I just realized that my my pitcher pump was actually built in a bad place. It was blocked from touching the water right now, so we've fixed that.
That's the
Fix
main,
it.
main problem is that your water is going down in a way.
Yes, but I will hopefully soon fix that loop because we're gonna build
is that
a.
polluted water over there?
I mean, you
Here,
have
yeah.
the
Yeah, they're
steam
dumping
vent over
polluted
there,
water.
which is a means of making a big means of making water.
Yeah, I have to deal with a lot of slime and polluted shit too.
Whoa,
to
what's
get
that?
To dig over there. But no, what my plan is that hopefully we should soon be able to get this loop set up where this is going to produce me clean water. At the very least, what I will probably do is I'm going to turn this into an industrial area. We're going to build, when I can, at least one coal generator down here to generate power for some refinement. And then I'll probably put a carbon skimmer down here to suck out all the carbon dioxide. The carbon skimmer makes polluted water. It will probably, if we can, we'll shenanigan the pipes to dump the polluted water out here somewhere to get that loop going, because all my polluted water will eventually go in this tub. And then I can put a water purifier, which will run back up over here into this thing and dump clean water out here.
Mm-hmm.
Oxygen not included, everybody. All right, that's a long way to go, but we'll build.
And that's
way
before
over
you
here.
you find the grand and wondrous world of pipes.
Yeah,
Oh,
you guys haven't even seen me build pipes yet.
Oh,
Though
no,
I am
pipes
trying
are-
to build. I'm trying to power a gas pump because I realize there's not a lot of oxygen in the latrine right now. So we're gonna put a gas pump up in one of the barracks layers to pump more O2 in there, if possible. Logistics, everybody.
You could go and put a oxygenizer inside the bathroom to just pump out.
Yeah, I
oxygen.
would, but then I'd have to run the power wires anyway. So I think the gas pump trick works too.
Fair.
And I think when I can, I will put a deoxidizer next to it to take out any polluted oxygen.
Also, since you need to have, you can put a what's the thing called again? A gas flow tire on there, so that the carbon dioxide goes down
Oh yeah, actually I can.
and drops
That still
down.
works.
Yeah, CO2 falls. So actually, why don't we?
So say like that one part over there, that one thing, right there.
Yeah. That should hopefully, without breaking anything, let them put some tiles there.
You can do things in a T shape, not a T shape, but like say when you're doing these kind of rooms, you can make it in a position where since carbon dioxide always falls,
Yeah.
you can put it so where you can put basically your toilets on thrones where the other
On
both
thrones?
sides. Yeah, you basically make a little upside down triangle where the carbon dioxide always goes down to that one part where your gas then can take it out.
All right, so we built the carbon skimmer. So now we go to research tab, and where is internal combustion?
You know what? I have
Here
this.
it is.
I know. I'm getting the urge to like just download current Dwarf Fortress and see what then look into the Mind of Madness.
See how crazy it is?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how it go. Okay. First of all, I know it's going to be a terrible blow to nature, but harvest all those plants. Actually, no, don't harvest. Uproot all those plants. Sorry, because I need to build shit in here. Don't worry, we can grow it back later. I'm
Dwarf
already...
Fortress coming to Steam. That is frightening. by
Horrifying.
degree. Yes. My
Like,
fucking
Dwarf
god! Dwarf
Fortress
Fortress.
is coming to Steam.
Yes. Time.
I'm actually hyped.
What now?
Okay, so I looked at the Steam page. You know what the release date is?
What?
Time is subjective.
Of course.
I've been looking forward to that, to be honest.
Oh, and it looks like it has actual graphics.
Yes,
That helps.
it has a UI. It actually, I think, also has this elusive thing we call mouse use.
That might help a lot of it, huh?
The Dwarf Fortress is a beautiful fucking game. The main problem is that it is almost impossible to use unless you spend your entire PhD career learning it.
So,
Though back in the days when I was trolled around the Something Awful forums, because of course I did, I read a couple of the Secession games where people would basically take a fortress and play a year of it and hand it off to somebody else.
yeah, I've heard.
Just
Like the
has-
legendary story of Boat Murdered.
Yes, the legendary story of Boat Murdered. The legendary also story of Head Shoots, the fortress that just would not die.
OBS, how long have you been running? Hour and a half, okay. CPU levels still nominal. Everything's fine. I'm only recording 30 frames, but whatever. Nobody cares. That's not true.
I'm
Some people
gonna-
care a lot.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna step away and
That's
get
fine.
something to eat.
It's fine. We're just chilling. We're vibing.
Because I
Do
have
I
a
want to
proposition for you later, Omega.
Uh-oh.
do I want to pick up one of these duplicates, or do I want 3,000 kilograms of coal?
You might want the coal. It really depends.
Look,
3,000?
Yeah, no. Infusions from your dupe machine are usually pretty good from the printing pod.
they are pretty substantial because, well, they understand that making more dupes can add more problems than solve.
Yeah,
So they'll
that
just
wasn't the
give you-
case in the early version, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they gave you three. They give you three choose of three dupes or one item type, and sometimes just picking the item if you because the one thing you want to, one thing you may want to do is really protract the expanding your.
Oh
base.
god.
What's up? What's up, Lucky?
Oh no. Apparently Spartacus got to a fucking planet.
Wait, is the planet running on tyranny or not?
No. It's a I guess the subquest. I fucking found these incorporeal gas creatures, and they have me ferry them around from planet to planet. And apparently they have 2 planets, and one just literally is calling rebellion. Listen to this. Listen to this. Greetings from New Baldric Revolutionary Front. We have thrown off the yoke of oppression and are at last free from the tyranny of Balderac. We have no quarrel with you, Church of Curvatology, as long as you refrain from aiding Balderac Imperialists in their inevitable attempt to crush our revolution. You can help us take our fight to the enemies, however. Would you be willing to deliver one of our comrades to Balderac?
Oh, jeez.
So great. Now because here's the thing, they can't move themselves.
Oh shit! I just realized I
The
haven't
Imperial
researched pipes yet. Okay, hold on. I
Pipes
may
are
have to
probably
switch.
important.
We might have to
I
switch
was
some
gonna
shit
say
up.
this, if you have the option of giving these strange gas creatures physical bodies made of living steel, don't.
Oh god.
I can see why. That sounds like a bad time. Oh, I love this. So there's an unpowered airlock I've built here because I actually want to build insulated tiles because I'm going to put some coal generators in here. The duplicate solution is rather than go through the manual airlock, is they fucking climb over it onto
Yeah,
the
they
ladder.
climb over it.
Are those the Necron gods that you were talking about?
Yes,
Because,
I was alluding to the contain.
Because what was it? They
Gas creatures.
duplicants can
Oh
climb
wow.
They
a
can climb
two-tile
two
high
tiles. Yeah.
bit.
Okay, now they just got sassy at me, and I'm totally about to shut them down. Because I said I'm not going to get involved with your guys' politics, and he says, "Of course you're not. We wouldn't want the revolution to spread to the oppressed masses in your tyrannical empire. Can't have that." And this guy
Lucky?
just what?
Those things are space communists. Yeah, space communists. It does not
Gas
end
space communists.
Well, that
Space
means there's only one
fart-
thing to do.
Fart space communists?
No, it's time to pose rabbits in hats.
And if I had a really good setup, I would play the Soviet national anthem meme right now. But I don't want to like go on YouTube or anything because I'm trying not to make anything explode. Though, Oxygen Not Included is running remarkably well. How's the stream been for everybody? Like,
It's been
pauses
kind
when
of.
I
It's been mostly all right.
I know it kind of freaks out a little bit when I like tab over back to Discord, but
Besides that, it's perfectly fine.
okay. So
Also,
we
like,
researched pipes.
it's a bummer that like you got copyright claimed out of fucking nowhere over something like a year old.
Yeah, no.
Well, right, we were
it's-
we were thinking about it. It makes sense because
Well, yeah, it's because it was literally a year ago. It was when they released the new OP for Cosmos and the Lost Belt, which is a Maya Sakamoto song, as Lucky was about
They
to bring up.
couldn't have just asked you to remove that part of the video.
oh no, here's the
Well,
thing. Here's the
they
thing. Maya
can.
Saka-
Well, they don't ask us. I could have removed it. Like, we'll probably tell the full story again on Let's Talk. But Sony Media Entertainment Group and Maya Sakamoto's agency are not quite litigious. They are very proactive with their copyright protections, shall we say.
Hold on. I just had a dumb moment in Oxygen Not Included. I need to share this.
But yeah, no. So like I submitted the fair use claim because I was like, wait a minute, this is Lucky streaming. There's no way Lucky wasn't talking over this, and there were like chat interaction and stuff. Like, this should fall under it. So apparently Sony's response was just like, oh, you could possibly get this unblocked. Nuclear option, no copyright strike. Like, I could have done it as, no, we'd prefer it if we just trim out the segment, but YouTube is a little finicky where, like, you don't get a lot of flexibility. You pick one option and then see if it works, and you move on to the other one. In this case, well, the only thing we can do at this step would be to either contact the claimant, which won't work because it's Sony Media Entertainment Group. They won't bother. They're fine. They don't get anything out of this. Or we could file a counterclaim, but the only way they can respond to us counterclaiming is legal action, which we are not geared for. So we'll just suck it up. And like I said, hey, if anybody wants to make any noise, call YouTube. It's also their dumb policy that a copyright strike blocks you from streaming for 90 days for some reason.
That's a lot of water.
Yeah, Omega, check general chat. I had a
Alright, I'll tally
liquid
really quick.
spill, and it's just a fuckload of water in a bottle.
They mopped it all up at least.
It was just one guy just like scrubbing for like several seconds.
Okay.
Wait, how much water is allowed per tile?
I don't
A lot.
know. Okay.
Wait, what is this? What is
If you
this?
got a full tile of water, it's a ton. Like 1,000
ton of water?
kilograms.
Okay. You might have to. Oops. Okay, hold on. Cancel that. Dragging straight lines is a little rough in this game sometimes. Okay, go back to.
Oh yeah.
Oops. So we're gonna. You might have to build some pipe bridges, but.
I think my longest colony once here died only because I ran out of sand.
Yeah, you gotta be careful about sand. Now, luckily, with the rock crusher, you can produce sand forever.
I'm hoping to get to ranching quickly because I need to get a ranch of hatches set up.
That's the thing though about ranching and everything like that. When you get hatches are really good for basically turning things into other things.
Well, yeah, you produce basic sandstone into coal.
Mm-hmm.
And then depending on like if you get the variants. I just like the
right,
looks of
you
the hatch.
animal assholes! I forgot you do this. You have to break natural tiles to make plumbing. Why? Why are you like this? Okay, I'll seal that up. I forgot.
Oh, that's awful.
Max priority.
It's time to use the yellow button.
If only you could make a character that is literally just a director, just to like extra push people to do things.
Due to the way things are set up, all the pipes are also on red alert or yellow alert.
Well, that's fine.
Whenever
okay,
I
they
do
fixed
this,
it.
this
Okay.
one-
All right. Thanks for flooding,
I
guys.
see.
You're great. You're salt of the earth. You're a real mensch.
Breaking was a good idea.
I see
yeah.
that
Okay.
I see that someone this bear already beat me to posting daily melts.
That's how it goes. Okay.
Sad news that battery is supposedly floating in the air because they also go rid of the floor.
Yeah, they also broke the floor under it because again, they're animals. I don't know why, because they can build through floors and stuff. Why they have to break natural tiles? But okay.
I mean, I think it's mostly just so that because it's hard to lay piping through like.
I guess.
brick,
Where
you know,
is
stone, all that
temperature
stuff.
regulation? I want to build some insulated tiles. Where are you?
As someone
Here
who
it is,
has dealt
temperature
with
modulation.
people constantly doing plumbing work outside, yeah, no, putting it through natural stuff is a fucking pain.
I do remember
make sure
one
that's a
time
priority
here,
9.
I basically decided to make a gigantic tub of just put water in there, and then I
Is this gonna
wondered
be too
what the
much that
hell
you
happened
guys
to my
it balanced
water.
out? You guys can't fucking mop it, can you? Yeah.
You need to build.
I'll have to build a
pitcher pump.
special fucking pump down here to pump out the water. Welcome to Oxygen Not Included, everybody.
Or if you want to be a maddest of mad lad, just go over to the right and just keep making 2 size things until the water
Wait,
just sits
Just
out.
double check. Is there any water below your base at the moment? Like
Uh,
even further down? You could try to funnel it down into a different place.
No, there is a natural chamber down here. I could extend my ladder and dump it. At least that half of it out. So we could try that, but I don't know if that'll actually help too much. Okay. So I need to figure out. I mean, I can pretty easily temporarily rig up a pump.
Something I learned about water too is like tiles can only hold a certain amount of water in weight.
Yes,
and eventually it'll crack and break it.
there's certain like depending on the tile density. So like if you put water is above sand, the sand will be destroyed over time.
That's a horrifying thing I learned once I decided to make a gigantic tub of water just to keep it all like contained. Nope, did not end well.
This is why you usually make that out of like basically make your tile where your reservoirs out of tiles. And then
Yeah,
later
but some
on,
of-
you just store it all in those. You store it all in the water storage tanks.
Yeah, the thing is about the tiles is like you also have to be wary of what kind of tiles you put on there because the softer tiles will just break.
I love some of the random name generation for like the colonies in this game.
Yep.
Because I'm currently dealing with the the sneezing panopticon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wait!
Oh.
I just now noticed your colony name, Omega.
Yeah, first stream. Welcome to
Bonk.
Colony Horny Jail, everybody. Get bonked. Because there are a lot of, as Lot said, a lot of procedurally generated names for all this shit.
Did you naturally come upon Horny Jail?
No, I made it myself, but it was in the spirit.
I believe there's also some. While most of the duplicates are randomly generated, there is one specific name and duplicate appearance that will show
Speaking
up,
of
which is a guy called Stinky.
Hey, there he is. Stinky,
there
right
he
here.
is!
His dance
Tiny.
moves are incredible. Okay. So he has
Mouth
increased
is
athletics.
tiny.
He gets double strength bonuses.
He just breathes more air.
Check out that unibrow.
Yeah. We've also got Nails, who is allergic but has no sense of taste and is germ resilient. But doesn't really have anything else. We
have
also could
Mima,
get a
who's-
snazzy suit. We could arm somebody with a snazzy suit so they increase decor around them. Let's not do that yet. That's a fun thing.
Mimo is good for just having +7 of
Oh.
athletics.
I guess some of the duplicates are similar because I do remember Meemaw looking exactly like that. So.
Yeah, I think Mima. I've only seen Mima as that. Let's see. Okay.
Nima is very much your grandma. Is the grandma dupe.
Old Mima here can't stand looking at people's knees. Yeah, I think we want to go with Mima because she's a specialist. She's got like double bonuses to athletics, has machinery, stuff like that. So we'll build Mima. Let's check
Wait,
out.
did
everybody's
anyone else notice that
skill
Nails
settings.
has points for farming but also has allergies?
Yeah.
That's pretty hilarious. Okay.
It's
Mima.
it's
the
So
flowers.
you build to that. So let's give you improved carrying. Put on your union hat. Join the Loaders Union. Okay. All right, everybody wake up, go to the toilet, wash up, all that stuff.
I'm gonna say one of the things I hate the most here is decor. It gets to a point where it's a freaking pain in the ass just to
The
keep
core's a
that,
little fucked.
updated.
Yeah. Though I do at least appreciate that you can get decor dupes, and you can just be like, hey, asshole, here's a block of stone, carve whatever you want, go nuts, and they'll just do it in their free time.
Yeah. You get a duplicate who's really good at art. They'll make like the thinker dupe.
Yeah.
And you have the abstract question mark art. The thing is, you got to get really good with it because different
So we're
different
gonna do
stones have different decorative values. So if you want to say,
Yeah, okay, so we're working
so
on
if you want to, let's say, make a golden statue, it will have a its own level of
to go
much
to-
higher level of decor power.
we want to go into
I do
My
feel like-
favorite painting is the dupe Mona Lisa.
So my favorite painting is the dupe to Scream.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like that one. I think
Words.
granite is like one of the better ones for decor. If I
Granite,
remember.
marble, gold. You can make gold. I've done gold because I had a gold because I looked out and I had a lava vent that just shat out gold lava.
That's pretty good. All right, kids, listen. It's as is usual. The sooner you build that fucking coal generator and put coal in it, the sooner you can stop breathing carbon dioxide. Because that's
The
when
coal
that's when
generator-
As soon as you actually do your job, the sooner you'll be fine.
Guys, don't
That
worry,
is
it's
very
completely
often how it
safe.
works
We're
with
just gonna have
duplicates.
we're just gonna have the coals and the battery in the water.
I see.
I mean, the
you are
water's
a-
shallow enough that it all works, but we'll
I
build a
see you
ladder
are
in here. and just
I
get
see
drained.
you're a proper man of health and safety, Omega.
Yeah. Listen,
Also,
as soon
you
as they
put
build
the-
the power source and the batteries for this carbon skimmer, it'll
Also-
start skimming carbon. That system is
Also-
built already.
Does it only need does it need regular water too?
Oh yeah, I
Normal
built
water?
that pump. That's why we had that leak. The pump goes up here, it pipes down here, it pipes up out of here to dump the polluted water into here, and then I'm gonna research distillation, and we're gonna build a water cycler up here to out the polluted water that's being dumped and cycle it back out through here.
Well, one thing I've found out, which is really nice, like you know how like you get your later on bathrooms.
Oh,
and
this
all
building
that will
is
have
flooded.
the-
Okay, so we gotta build.
You'll have your output stuff, which is like, oh yeah, your toilets give like dirty water. You can just pump that straight into the water
Yeah,
purifier.
you can. I've built that loop before.
The main thing about that though is that your water will still have germs, so you have to do another step to degermify your water too.
Look, they're shitting in it. I don't think it really matters.
Oh,
You might as well feed it into
my
like
build
the fucking,
priority
like,
is active
water
state
engine.
on 9. So hold on. Let's set this back to 5.
I think I just
Like-
set those to like agriculture water.
Like I had to. I'm starting up a new game instead of the one I did before because that was what was it? Take your time. I'm doing a
Mhm.
survival one this time, but that one I had the loop set up for like the bathrooms. It's just like pump in the dirty water, make it clean, go back in.
Yeah.
It's an endless loop.
You can also do other stuff like you can make showers loop that way because showers make polluted water.
But what I did have it lead into a purifier, and then was it those water tanks?
You can do a thing where you can separate your showers from your so like normally in normal construction, I think Lucky could attest to this if you've ever dealt with it. You have normal water, fresh water, gray water, and black water essentially.
I know this too.
And shower water is normally considered gray water because it is just water you put soap and chemicals in. It's not like black water, which is has fecal matter and such, like
Yeah.
toilet water.
Or other wastewater, basically.
So you can separate your wastewaters out, so you can just have a separate loot for your toilets, so that because toilets that way you can separate your germs. I know I harp on about germs a lot, but after a certain point, you will have one of the fail states is all your dupes just getting sick and dying horribly.
Yeah. Now that is at least what I believe that doctors are good for, because if you get an apothecarium, right, you can make antibiotics and shit, and they will everybody, you'll be glad to know, duplicants will eat pills like candy if you make enough pills.
Yes.
So
you need to-
so you need to make dispensers that are proper, I guess.
That doesn't sound like a good thing.
Don't you just start with
Like-
placebo pills in general?
The funny
I
thing
think
about
the first thing you
pills-
can make with it is here. Let me. Can I? So I won't set the research to it, but I will find the medicine tree. Pharmacology. The apothecary produces medicines that can cure disease. Okay, can I look up what the apothecary gives?
All right, I'm going to actually save this game of Kingdom Come Deliverance I'm playing because I want to play something else for a little bit to cleanse my palate.
All recipes. It can produce vitamin chews, immune boosters, curative tablets,
Fish.
allergy medications, medicinal packs,
Those packs are very much for like healing people on healing,
and serum vials.
doing the magical thing. Because before any of this, if you deal with, you have triage tables, which is your baseline. Person sits here
Yeah.
until it gets better.
Yeah.
Oh, and don't they use
Yeah.
like the black water, gray water thing as the way to cycle like water during cruises and whatnot?
That is generally how, just in general, if you have water stuff. You know about this because of science fiction, actually, because that's, if you're designing closed systems, splitting up your water systems is very important. So
Yes.
yeah, most places will figure out the whole,
If
black
you're-
water, gray water system.
If you're dealing with, like I say, a science fiction setting that tries to go for hard science, it is very much a very special kind of science fiction writer that will start talking about the plumbing system of a space station.
Because it's very important to keep some microbes in the water, or in some cases, just so
Well, yeah, and that is a
required
thing
for
I
us.
have also seen with some that, like, you can get some interesting things go wrong that way if you have artificial microbes to do that. Super nerdy. Not that I think anybody other than Lucky would have read my Eclipse Phase blog, but I did some homebrew stuff talking about this, where as a plot hook I invented several quote-unquote diseases, because normally in Eclipse Phase, which is a nominally hard sci-fi setting but is heavy on the transhumanism, basic biomods, anybody who's like a gene-fixed human is like immune to conventional disease.
Your basic splicer morph.
Yeah, but there are also, it is explicitly noted in some of the fiction, like I think one of the characters talking about some of the bazaars on Mars is like, yeah, you can catch a version of the common cold that's resists basic biomods, and I was just like, okay, well, I'll make this a plot hook. So there were two systems, which was, one was a type of microbe that is meant to clean water polluted systems, right? But however, if you accidentally cross the pipes, it will also attack the natural microbes in a human's gut, so it makes you sick. And then the other was actually, it was a joke. It was a reference. I called it polymerization, but it was also meant to be a recycling microbe that eats polymers. Problem, it eats all polymers. So if you accidentally get it into like your fabricators or your storage, it'll eat your spacesuits and other polymer things. So you have to watch out for that. We have all deflooded the power generator room.
Also, I do love the fact that the dupes will jumping on top of the door you put there.
Yeah, the door's manual right now, so if they need to get through it in a hurry, they'll just be like, "Fuck it, this is open," because he hasn't built
door's
those.
just a suggestion.
He hasn't built those insulated tiles that prevent me from crossing through here yet.
The thing about building rooms to contain heat is that you don't really want to make the entire room out of insulated tiles. Because,
No, I think just in this case, I want to try and make sure not a lot of heat can like move through this open air space up into the ladder.
You need to you build heat shields essentially.
Yeah.
Where
and I can probably eventually figure out other stuff because I'm gonna have some fucking water dump down here. I can maybe even get
so if you go over to your insulated tiles real quick, like go and like select your insulated tiles.
Well, I cannot because I'm researching that right now. So
okay, but
you guys, you need some water. Are we gonna have a problem?
Just look at your tiles, I guess, real quick.
Yeah, so I like these guys.
You can take a look at what different materials you're building stuff out of.
Oh yeah, so you mean that way? Yeah, because you can do igneous rock or granite.
Then what the different rocks do is
so sandstone has nothing about that. Igneous and granite both increase your overheat by.
They have overheat thresholds, which means they have a higher thermal mass.
And the granite ones are also actually more artistic, apparently.
Yes, our granite's a very aesthetically pleasing rock.
Okay, so I think what we
granite.
I do enjoy Cliff's Phase just more because I like the sci-fi horror bit of it because it tries to be it is as hard sci-fi as I can get with also what's the word as with a horror aspect because there is
yes like they still have, and I've heard some people complain about like why do you have like the option for like stargates and whatever in FTL or psychic powers. That's not scientific at all. The setting's no longer hard sci-fi. But one, I think
it's hard science fiction.
Well, yeah, it's still hard science fiction. It's still fictional. So, just in general, I think a lot of like physicists and stuff, a lot of like those kind of geeks, really misunderestimate how fucking weird brains are.
Also
we still really don't get how brains work.
Also, the fact that in the Cliff's Phase world is. No, there's a reason why these things drive you crazy or make your brain hurt just thinking about it because this is technology and or science and or understandings that it's hard to wrap your brain around. You're essentially a what's the word? Like a Native American seeing, giant fucking sailboats come up, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's the outside of context problem is actually what that's literally called.
Yeah, it's outside of context problem.
What do you did you guys not finish building the pipe? You guys like literally not attach the last bit of pipe down there?
I think they need to be one more tile out. They need one more ladder out so they can build the pipe.
I mean, they built the vent, so they can reach that far.
Did you put the vent underneath the pipe? They put the pipe underneath the vent.
Yeah, I think I just did that now. Let me double check that it's correct because I think that might be the one step we're missing. Let's make sure we draw that connection. So. It says it's hooked up. Am I missing the connection somewhere? Because it says the outflow pipe. Let me double check. The output pipe is blocked.
Did you switch the outflow and inflow pipes? Because sometimes they can really mess you up.
Oh, did I do that?
Yes.
Yeah, I did. Okay.
Yeah, you have the outflow pipe. As
yeah,
the inflow pipe
I always fuck this up. This got me a lot. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to demolish the pipes and reset it. Actually, I think that means I need to completely.
You could put in a leaf pipe. You could basically take the.
Oh yeah, no, I can do a bridge, but I think I need to strip this back and then because I need to like demolish this and flip it.
Hey, guess what that means, Omega?
More water,
You get the flood the power room again.
Didn't you build a dupe who? Oh, sorry, not build. Didn't you have a dupe who is the plumbing? He can empty pipes. If you turn off the water pump and this is to empty the pipes, it should just be come out as water bottles.
Does Omega have a switch on the water pump though?
I mean, I can turn. Yeah, I can disable the building. Yeah, I tell a guy. It's night right now, so that won't get done. But I can tell it to go do that. Okay. So I will. Somebody will wake up and flip that off. And then we can also disable this.
Eclipse phase, where you get the where you have the uplifts, where you can just play a. Oh yes, I'm a gorilla. My entire genetic code is on file as a commodity over here.
Because I believe to the bottom right, with all the other commands, there is a clear pipes button.
Ah, extract pipe contents. You are correct. I don't think I've ever used this before. Hey, some nerd, extract these, please, while this is off.
Do you need to extract all of those? You're just gonna have a lot of bottles everywhere.
That's okay. I will. We can burn it. So where's my?
Also, okay, yeah, it's turned off, so you don't have to worry about it pumping
Yeah,
more
I
water
turned it
in
off already. That was the first step. So we'll build a new tile up here, and then I will build a bottle emptier, which I need to do anyway because I mopped up a lot of water from the flood. So I need to build a bottle emptier up here so we can. Where's that plumbing? So we can dump bottles of pure water back into this environment. Science, everybody.
Skullhawk needs so much void dust. Why?
Yeah, that's how it works. Okay.
Bones and void dust. Always fun.
And feathers.
Except for like us, who've gone through this already. Discard, except for like the rest of us.
Yes, I am. The thing is, I don't have to suffer in silence. Thank you very much.
That's true. I don't think anybody silently suffered through void dust. I think one of my early like Let's Play style videos of FGO is me just being like, gotta farm some void dust. That was pre-America too.
Oh dear, what'd you do for America?
I think you just did servant dailies because you would fight shadow servants was like the best way to do it.
Hey, who here has played Hades?
Me.
Ax, are you gonna derail my stream/recording so you can ask people about Hades?
I was just gonna ask a brief thing, but never mind.
Clearly, Omega, we've stayed so on topic this entire time.
I mean, it's true. But hey, it's a stream. It's supposed to be like that.
Discard is talking about Eclipse phase.
I brought it up.
Right
That Eclipse phase is sciencey. All right, we're getting a little bit laggy, but
True.
It is in the same vein as, you know...
Well, yeah, so actually, that was what I was talking about with sci-fi stuff was, like, that's in Panopticon, the book about habitats and stuff, is they actually discuss, here's how habs do, you know, different water and stuff systems.
And in Eclipse phase, you literally could have a situation like it's Oxygen Right included right here, right now, where you just have a person printer printing out people.
Yeah, I've actually said that I think if I was to do another in the second edition, because unfortunately since they switched to second edition, production has really slowed down. I know they have a couple things in the works, but they're not really like the release that's about to come out, Xenovore, like that's close to done, but that has been like in beta testing on their Patreon for like forever.
That's a title.
Yeah, no, it's Xenovore is, I think it's a reality show set on an exoplanet about predators, I think is the pitch.
That sounds very intense.
Let's go slow. Hold
Listen, it's the transhuman future, man. People need their kicks.
on. Oh yeah,
Fair
no,
enough.
entertainment's really fun. Okay, so let's.
When you literally, if you literally have a point where you want to be a kinky person, you can upload your brain into an octopus and then have a octopus orgy. It is a thing.
Oh
you gotta
yeah,
have in
no,
the
like
Eclipse.
there's a lot of
Real
there
talk,
is
one of my
there
characters
is
wouldn't even-
literally a trait before like he tells a story. There's literally a trait in the first edition. I think it got taken out in the second because it was kind of mechanically complex. But you can literally take the trait Immortality Blues, which is just like, yeah, you've lived forever. Nothing really impresses you anymore. You're so jaded that you like get less EXP and stuff from experience because that's how fucking old you are and how you feel about shit.
I mean, that does kind of jive with how people are in real life too.
Well, so what's up? What's up, Lucky? Sorry, we make.
Oh no, I was just gonna tell stories about. I think the first character I played with Megan in the Eclipse phase was an absolute sex junkie. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me think of like when we did that briefly. It's like I think I'm just gonna play someone who's kind of not part of it because I can't wrap my head around the whole like tone of it yet.
Okay, so
I played a fucking AGE.
all right, so build it that way around.
If you want to be a fish out of water, the AGE is a very good.
Oh yeah, in both
thing.
editions, I believe they still have the real world naivete traits, basically, where it's like, oh yeah, you just sometimes don't know about real life shit. You're a computer. You only know what people taught you, so.
The thing about Eclipse Phase, like one of the major like existential problems of this, or existential problems in the setting itself is that they don't have very many kids.
Yes.
And
Reproduction is very slow.
Children are very hard to produce in their scenarios because what quantifies as a child, what is child rearing, on top of like the fact that like you can like why have a child but you can just copy a man 30 different times.
Yeah. Well, and also
like,
it's a resource concern in the post-apocalypse of Eclipse Phase because there's they've given numbers, but sci-fi writers are bad at scale. There's a shitload of people who are dead, the people who need to be reinstantiated after the fall, who need bodies too. So it's like, why are you making a brand new human when if you made a morph, you could put a person with job skills in this body and reintroduce them to the population?
There's also the micro thing of like what lady would want to go through pregnancy in this time right now.
No, that's not a thing. Technology, exowombs. We're gonna have that in before you're dead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, no, exowombs.
I was more thinking about like if you wanted to qualify as a child, it was like
there's
natural way.
also
No, you can just do external fertilization.
And there's also ladies who just want to go through it all natural. You know what I mean? There are people.
Well,
who
yeah,
like
no, if you're
organic
super
milk.
fucking rich. I don't think they ported it because they really streamlined the morphs in second edition. But in the first edition, there was the Aya pod, which was the nurse pod, which was explicitly called out as also sometimes being used for pregnancy surrogates. Do I want any of these mofs?
There was also the I do like one of my favorite favorite things about Eclipse Phase. I think you mentioned Once Upon a Time 1,000 years ago, where there is a place in Eclipse Phase where everyone is super wealthy. They all smoke all the time.
Oh yeah, it was mentioned as a the Hypercorp capital Progress, which used to be one of the moons of Mars. It was noted in the fiction that everybody there smokes like a chimney because if you don't smoke, that shows that you're poor because rich people can just afford new lungs. So everybody smokes like it's the fucking 50s. It's wild.
I hope that was written by Caleb because that sounds like a thing that.
No, I think this was before Caleb was introduced to, because that was like the second book ever they did. But no, it does sound like a Caleb Stokes thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Caleb
right.
Stokes by far both my favorite, also most depressing, sarcastic writer.
Okay. That would take too much juice, but I can give you improved tinkering.
You can sometimes just hold off on putting on skill points because you don't really want to run into the morale, running yourself a morale cap all the time.
Yeah, like this guy doesn't need one yet because I want to get you to exosuit training. I really do. It's the theme of the video, but you don't love the path to exosuit wearing, so we'll have to wait until you get more morale.
You need to build him. You need to build special rooms and actually make a recreation room and everything else like that.
Oh, this is already priority.
You can build a place because one of the better places to put a thing around for the water cooler, I think, is around your I don't think it works around your printer though. Does it?
No, probably not. Like I'd probably want to build it. I probably can't combo it with a mess hall, but that would be a close place.
You can combo with a mess hall, but see that part right there next to your second extension of your barracks.
Yeah,
also,
I've got the space up here.
because I think you worked out the barracks correctly.
Actually, yeah, that's a good. We should check that. Yeah, it's a barracks.
Okay, so right next to that thing next to the barracks, you can just clear that place over there, slap down a water cooler when you research that.
I think I can actually have been able to do that for a while. Let me check. Wasn't it furniture?
Yeah,
there it is, water cooler.
Just water. You need a water cooler and a plant.
Yeah, we could.
Yes, and a plant.
Oh, there it is.
That's a pretty compact space. Why don't we just tell them?
I'm sure all of us who have worked in retail understand what a break room looks like.
Messy, full, always semi-clean, and yet no one ever has the stones to actually clean it fully. Yeah.
You kind of need two vending machines.
Having one refrigerator, one probably sink if you're lucky, a microwave maybe ?
Okay, you want to know something kind of funny?
Mm-hmm.
Like my current job, we actually have an honest-to-God toaster oven.
Man, I feel sorry for you. All the places I've had great break rooms. Fuck.
No. That's the thing. I was listing off stuff before my current job.
There's also sometimes where the microwaves actually just a block with of an image of a printed image of a microwave on it.
Ugh.
What?
Axe, you
Yeah,
gonna let
we
Cod,
were-
Axe, you gonna let Cod finish his story?
Yeah, but anyway, no. Long story short is that break rooms I used to be in were kind of crap. My current job very good. Hell, they even have a TV like in there for people I break to enjoy local stuff.
Do they have a properly so I know there are so you know how in like say different places like Walmart and everything else that they have the 50 cent vending machine outside with the off-brand sodas?
Yes.
Do they have that for your break room?
No, mainly because you can get stuff like in the store and
From the
used to
actual store.
you could used to have the used to have the bistro open before the plague happened.
Yeah.
The
that's where
Backstreet Boys reunion
reunion
tour.
tour.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh.
It's- They just go
Oh,
and tell me
Lucky's
why
found something
ain't-
interesting in space.
ain't nothing
No,
but
it's just the planet I found. So the planet I have here is high gravity, but also atmospheric aphrodisiac. So things literally are hot and heavy here.
That's hilarious. Oh my
Oh,
god.
crap.
That's amazing.
Not the horny main planet.
And
All I
there-
did,
look,
they went
when
to
you
jail.
my shoulder is stiff because it is I have got my second COVID vax today, so
Let's see here.
I got your booster.
Yeah, I
well,
got my-
hey, at least you
my
know you're
second
getting them.
shot.
What group are you? Like, what group are you? Because you qualify because you do technically do tech stuff in a hospital.
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
that
with
would be
Xerox.
on the high level. The in domain.
I wish I could get one before I go back to campus, but I just have to have a negative test and a flu shot.
Yeah, I think at this like I've heard some states are planning on expanding their list. Dear YouTube, don't demonetize me. We're talking about this in a non-salacious context, okay? I know some states are reducing their restrictions, but still things are a little slow. So the intent is high risk and essential workers first, then everybody else. You guys have polluted oxygen up in here? You do. Let's put some deodorizers up in that barracks. You guys will like that, won't you?
Free your mind.
You know that
Is-
point in the
is it
roguelike
the-
where
I know you have the aphrodisiac planet, but there's a planet that has a special like atmosphere that's made of just hallucinogenic drugs, right?
I found a planet that had hallucinogenic flowers and I torched it.
Oh.
All right, we can now
Yeah, that's
re-enable
the
the water
planet.
pump.
Well,
What
because
happened
the people literally stopped working. They just wanted to be near the fucking flowers. I'm like, all right, this has got to stop. At first it was
You
okay, but
Odysseus
clearly you
that
guys.
shit.
There is a thing about that planet that will continuously bug and bother you until you actually torch it.
So I did. It's like sometimes like, here's the thing. I remember like since the events happened, I remember these events when they happen to me again. I'm just like, no. This is why again I have literally put 2 star fortresses. Well, I put a star fortress on every fucking L gate I have, just in case, because I had to do some research because I was like, how the fuck do I stop this attack? And you're like, oh yeah, you have to go through the gate. I was like, oh, thanks for telling me this. Game, you didn't.
Mm.
Make sure my
But in my process of research, I learned that the fucking AI can accidentally open up the fucking gate. And I'm just like, oh no.
Yes,
that's
or
just
the
just the middle of
or-
the game crisis there.
or the L gate will just will just turn on its own.
Yeah, so
Say
like
hello.
I am currently just for anytime there's an end game, I'm just like, no, there's going to be a station here. It is getting nothing but guns and defense platforms.
Stellaris is a very good game for like just keeping itself interesting to a certain point.
yeah.
Like in current Crusader Kings 3 and so forth like that, there's not enough events that just keep things going. Because you can just hit a point where you just like steamroll the map essentially. You turn into a color blob and just eat everything.
Blob.
Let's go back to speed. Okay, the carbon skimmer
why
is now
it-
skimming carbon, which is good because we're about to
Yay.
build the water pipe that will pump polluted water
Oh
into
no, we're
a
out of
future
houses.
water separator.
Oh wait, I can upgrade this.
which I'm currently researching.
Let's upgrade the forts.
All right, let me actually just start up Hades again and actually have some of that stuff to play.
I've been playing that. I played that for like 5 hours earlier today, and I was like, I had too much fun. 'cause I've reached that point. I just want to say this once. I've reached that point in the roguelike where it's like, okay, I have a stride now. I feel I'm not actually afraid of dying now. We're actually doing pretty good.
The thing is that I played it when it was in early access, enough where I got really good at it to the point where I got to the third. When I first played the very beginning of the game, base level Zagreus, I go from the beginning of the game to the third to Elysium in one go, and I'm like, the
The
game's
game
like
really opens up once you can. The game is weird where it's like it opens up literally once you reach the final boss, even if you win or die.
We will see when I get there because I want to see how that. Because the thing is, I got really good at beating it before, and when the final boss just you just die right afterward because they're like, we're not putting in the ending in yet.
Oh, okay.
It's a tactic with an early access game.
I mean, there's a weird thing to it, but you'll see.
Anyway, yep. Don't talk any more about it, Axe.
I'm not gonna say anything else because it's the entire point of the game.
Yes.
Okay.
I
You will see.
enjoy Hades a lot that it's like a continuous narrative because it's like it's not like other roguelikes where it's a time loop. It's more of like no, you're doing it over and over again. You're a Greek you're a Greek god, so like
Hold on. I
Are you gonna pull what I think you're gonna pull out?
no, I'm just gonna send a
Stop it.
DM to Axe to shut the fuck up.
So a lot of I know like the Norse gods have Ragnarok and everything. What was the tea time of the gods for the Greeks, by the way?
There isn't one. I think.
It was no official one. There were at least a couple prophecies where Zeus could have gotten got like all his forefathers were got.
Kill the sun. He's gonna kill you.
So, but the kind of the way the moral or whatever of Titanomachy and stuff is that Zeus was smarter than all that came before him and worked around the prophecy, but you could also just as easily have some shit happen.
You can go in have their idea of what can deal with our gods. Because the whole thing about like, if I remember correctly, with the Norse mythology stuff, it was like the cycle of death and rebirth was built into their pantheon essentially.
Yeah, well, Ragnarok was a prophesied end time where everything would basically reset. There would be some humans, and there would be only a couple of gods left, and that would be the second generation, and we could start again. But also, it's a little hard to be sure because OSP likes to harp on this. Our only sources we have, the prose and poetic edits, are post-Christianization, so there's some weird references to some unnameable god who's super cool and is better than all the other gods who survives Ragnarok in the end. AKA probably Secret Jesus. So it's a little hard to tell exactly what the Ragnarok narrative was pre-Christianization terms, right?
Saying that they probably went and like they didn't capstone their own like, oh, and this is when our mythology ends.
Yeah. Okay.
Also, just to get this joke out of my system. Darn you, Christianization!
Let's see.
Please don't demonetize on YouTube. That was a joke.
No, it won't be demonetized. Build me a second pitcher pump down there. Let's turn this extra water into bottles of water.
Okay, so I have a question. Centaur Heart or Aphrodite? Let's go with Centaur.
Just trying to keep my ships up to date, and now my fucking bar is filled with upgraded ship icons.
Rip.
For Stellaris, right? So the way you maintain your ship upgrades, is it more like cost efficient to make new ships or upgrade old ships?
No, just upgrade old ships. Unless you're, well, for me personally, unless you're moving up to a new ship class, just upgrade. Or let me put it this way, or if you have custom built ships, I just go for auto best right now. I am not fucking in the mood to like custom build ships to do specific fucking things. Jesus fucking Christ.
Guys,
I'm not that galaxy brain. I'm just trying. Well, this is what I was like. This is what I was reading because again about the fucking nano plague. It's like, oh yeah, if you make these special custom ships, I'm all like, I know I can make custom ships, but I don't got time for that ship. I am dying right now.
I don't got time for that ship.
Wait, was the nano plague in this current playthrough, or was it the result?
No, it was the last playthrough. I died. I didn't die, but I reached the point where it's like I literally cannot recover from this.
You were like, I cannot unfuck this.
basically what happened is as soon as I figured out that I actually have to go through the L gate, I was like, okay, this is what we're gonna fucking do. I'm going to build a station right on this L gate, and we are going to fortify the fuck up. And this is what I was doing. So I was getting ready to make my push in. And see, here's the thing. In that game, I had awakened my racist psionic potential. So we had access to the Shroud, and the Shroud's pretty cool. Because basically every once in a while, you can just call up the Shroud. It's like, hey, hey, Shroud, can I just get a free boon? And Shroud be like, nah, man, you got to roll the slots for that shit.
I have to say this. If you see a guy called the Ender of Cycles, don't say hello to him.
Oh, no.
I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of things in Stellaris where you would be like, nah, it's not a good idea, my fam.
Oh, no, trust me. I was so desperate, I made a pact with the Eater of Worlds.
Huh.
What did he do afterwards?
He basically gives me more attack. He basically makes all my armies and ships stronger. But every so while, when he's feeling hungry, he'll just come and eat one of my cities.
Wait. So you essentially, you made a deal with Galactus and you became the Silver Surfer.
That sounds
no,
right.
Not really.
No. He basically made a deal with Space Devil, and Space Devil comes and eats his people whenever he gets peckish.
Yeah, because I made a deal with the devil because I needed the power to fight off the nanophage long enough to get there. But here's the problem. So the Shroud's really fucking cool. Usually it tells you like the success rate of what you do. Usually comes green, yellow, red. And one of the fucking attempts, this was like literally as I'm fortifying up. And one of the attempts, it's all like, hey, you have a moderate chance of getting ship armor up for a time. I'm like, oh, that sounds fucking baller. I could use that really right now because I'm about to go fight these things. It fucking failed. Instead, what happened? I got fucking ship armor down by 60%. So all my ships were just like had 60% less hit points. And guess what? That's when the nanophage decided to attack my fucking base.
This is
quick question, Axe. May I please ask you to move to a different VC so I can yell at you for a bit? Because I can't put into words just how wrong you are.
I don't.
Wait, what? Where?
I think they're having a private conversation. That they need to go.
Hades.
You need to go. I mean, hey, you guys can both hide out in secret gaming because you're both in the Progression series. They can go yell privately.
But the So basically, because the only way I was able to survive the nanophage in the first place was I literally took every single one of my ship and made a giant armada, and they had enough to basically overwhelm them because, like I said, I hadn't even met the mid-tier crisis yet, and no one else was really developing militarily, so I wasn't as well. So like I'm running around with fleet powers of like 5-6K, and these fucking nanophages busted in with like strength of 24K. So I'm just like, oh no. So basically, the reason why I kept losing so much territory is because I only have one fleet that would go take out a couple of their fleets, run back for repairs, try and grab a couple more ships to keep up my strength, and keep going out. So I can only attack them one at a time, and the other ones, and I'm pretty sure they ignore hyperlane, the hyperlane, and they just go wherever the fuck they wanted to. So because that's the thing in Stellaris, is you can't just jump from system to system. Sometimes it depends on how many of the hyperlane travels.
Yeah, I believe they developed a couple of systems, right, where they used to have it where you could pick which version of space travel you started with, because you can get hyperlanes or jump drives. Now it's just you can randomly discover jump drives which have a limited range but ignore routes.
Yeah.
So the nanophage are probably on a jump style system. They can just shortcut to whatever's closest.
The thing is, if you the one major problem is that one of the in-game crises is if you basically they use warp technology for their in-game. What?
Sorry. I went to go check on my hot and heavy planet. Apparently, they are now just acting like fucking animals.
Well,
oh no.
Rip.
Oh
well,
no.
just install pay-per-view and let people watch, I guess.
If only it was that easy. Did you guys pump all the
let's see,
water
let's
out of the
launch our
bottom? No, you did not yet
anti-crime
pump all the water out of
campaign.
here. Okay.
Well, at least I could say that at least Lucky didn't make a deal with the space snake devil.
Ah, yes.
Listen, like here's the thing. Here's the thing about Stellaris. Unless you actually say yes to something, you have no idea what they're gonna fucking do.
One sec. Oh, found the call.
Alright, so we've built the water sieve, so we can now begin to sieve water. And I have remembered this time to orient it correctly. The input's over here, the output's over here. Hopefully they can reach that pipe. Okay, and then we'll just... do-do-do-do-do-do. Get me a liquid vent, because we will just outflow the water right there back into the system. Behold, loops! Closed system.
Sick loops, bruh.
So we will have a water pump that will pump polluted water, which is produced by our carbon skimmer, which is right next to our coal generator, which produces carbon dioxide. The carbon skimmer will take pure water out of the system. That pumps the polluted water into the system. The water pump pumps the polluted water into the water sieve. The water sieve pumps the pure water back into the water reservoir, which then pumps back into the carbon skimmer. Science, bitches!
What a great time to come back to hear that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, Locke, you missed my whole spiel, but I've completed my water purification loop. Well, I've ordered the duplicates to complete it
I
sometime.
can see the pipes.
Yeah, we're waiting. So here's my water sieve. We got the polluted water pump down here. Once it builds all the pipes, it'll pump back up, clean water up out here.
The fucking 3-tile like corner you've got there.
Oh
at
yeah,
the
well
bottom
there's a
of the-
hole in my fucking my pipe floor. I want to fix it. It's uneven. It bothers me.
Nah, but
It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. It bothers me a lot.
I've sorted.
I'm trying to remember where that's
It should
from.
be better
Why
now.
is that square still
That
green?
one's still green.
Dragon Ball Z Abridged.
Yeah, that's
Right.
the Cell building the Cell games. And that square's still green. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's not fine. Blows it up. Stunning again. Alright, mop that shit.
How
Also.
did all these squares make a circle?
That's a great throwback too.
All these squares make a circle. All these squares make a circle.
I'm
Mr.
super
Coleman.
high right now.
Tell me I can leave the lookout.
Mr. Popo, you
tell
can't
me,
leave the
Coleman.
cookout.
Mr.
Bitch, don't tell me
Popo.
what to do. And then later, after Piccolo fuses with Kami, he's like, "Was that the drugs, or did you actually eat Kami?"
Man,
And then once Kami's gone, you have the few episodes where you just got very mellowed out Popo, and it's like, oh, this is
Well,
weird.
and the
I just
first thing he
dropped a
does
literal
is
gallon of acid.
the first thing he does also
Or
is
was
he's
it
like,
LSD?
only one thing to do, and then you hear a switch flick. Turn down for what? Like, does a sick dance party.
I think I need to go watch me some DBZ Abrosion again.
It's a good thing. Okay.
Yeah, it's good.
In utilities
It's-
or stations?
It's
Okay,
the good.
so we can now we've refined enough metals, we can build our exosuit forge, and we can build our atmosuit docks, so we can start to send duplicants out into the danger zone. Where's the best place to
Danger
go?
zone.
I think the best place to start exploring that way would be here, because there's a steam vent we want to check out. So let us plan to turn this into our atmosuit zone. So
God damn it! Because I'm also playing Oxygen Included. I hear the noise for the duplicator machine.
for my duplicator,
I'm
and
like,
you're like, is that my
Yeah.
duplicator?
yes.
That's why you got to be careful about playing games at the same time. Okay, what do we get? What's our
Oh,
progress?
and it just went off. Okay, it's
Okay, so we've got Stinky, an Ari, and a Bubbles. Bubbles is good at
Stinky.
farming. Stinky's good at cooking. We're not really caring about cooking right now.
Starting to see how the sword can be really good.
All right, go there. Do that.
Um,
All right. Okay. Just got to get through another night cycle, and I think we're going good. We're getting better.
Oh shit, I need more moats. Wait, what was that plan that lets me build more moats? Is it this one? The lesser
And we did
evil.
Finish modulation. So what do we want to do now? Let's set up on these.
I guess what happens.
I guess we'll be dust. These will make dust and gas. Fuck it.
Hey, thing you can do. All right, we can now build insulated tiles, which is good because we're. Let me pull up the temp. That's power overlay. Temp overlay. Okay, it's not super bad over there, but that's not it. Temp overlay. Okay, yeah, no, it's warm out there, so we're gonna definitely, when we build our little Atmo dock, we're definitely gonna be like making some insulated tiles.
How all the fishing's in this?
Uplift.
Oh,
Sure.
Lucky's gonna get some uplifts. You're gonna make raise some people onto your tech level. Get on my level scrub.
Yeah, literally. I think it lets me literally uplift primitive civilizations. Oh, yes, that's how I do it. Okay.
Primitive simulations.
Well,
No,
yeah, if they're machines, sure, why not?
No, it actually uplifts non-sentients to sentients.
Well, what nonsense? Wait, can I uplift my amoeba?
Is your amoeba not sentient?
It's funny you
I
say that because I was about to say find a
primitive
space
planet.
jellyfish.
Maybe space trees?
I think it's for primitive planets. I've done it one.
Well, that's the thing.
time.
Primitive planets, you can just do assimilation. You don't need the uplifting because I've done it a fuck ton. Because it's great when you uplift them, they become an empire. That's like one of your protectorates. So you can have just a mini civilization. Be like, yeah, they cool. I'm gonna give them some planets. They ain't gonna do much, but they mine.
Yeah.
No, you must have found a pre-sentient civilization on one of the planets, and that's how it triggers that uplift technology.
Interesting.
Man. Well, fuck. Well, see, and this is what I mean. Like, I found this thing. I have no idea what it does. It gives me no explanation. It doesn't give me any fucking clue how I got it, why I got it, or what I'm supposed to do with it. I'm supposed to just like throw it against the wall
Paradox
until it breaks. And, like, everything
Interactive.
I'm supposed
Given
to
you
just
have made games since 1982.
Axe, you don't get to continue the joke. I was making a fucking joke. Fuck you.
Wait, half-baked
I
games
was-
since
I was-
1982.
I was about to say, I think I've got the year very wrong. Could someone correct me on that?
Possibly. Entirely possibly.
Anyway, like, as I was saying, like, I have to keep throwing things against the wall until they break and I release the fucking nanophage by accident. Then I have to start all over again and try again. Thanks, game. But so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna type in Stellaris uplift. Oh, hey, it's right there. It's like the third one from the bottom. Stellaris uplift species. I am clearly not the only one who had a problem with this.
It's like how do uplift?
How do you do?
Oh, okay.
Do you
okay,
how
okay.
do?
How do you become God?
Okay, so this is what it is. So the normal way to do it, the way that I've been doing it normally, is called enlightenment. Basically, I show up. It's like, hey, y'all, I'm from fucking space. I'm here to give you some shit.
Space shit.
And uplifting is a different one, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. Yeah, so basically, yeah, so, okay, so yeah, they both require, like, primitives on planets and shit. All right. I know what I'm doing. Lucky does not actually know what he's doing.
Good luck.
Lucky will try to believe he knows what he's doing.
I mean, that's
much
the
luck.
only thing you can do in a lot of these. Like, right now, I'm just like, I know what I'm doing. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm trying.
And then
I'm
something
a
like
genius.
do it.
Oh no.
Wait a minute, why the fuck?
All right, the
You have
water
to sh- oh, that's
sieve
why.
is
What the
sieving
fuck was
water.
that? Oh.
Alright, there's the Hydra down.
What species? What do you mean, species with unspent trait points? What trait points? We have no trait points. You lie to me.
Do your new uplift friends have trade points or something?
I don't know.
It would probably be them. They probably.
That would be neat if they like are like, hey,
I think uplifted species are a blank slate for trait points.
Anyway, well, doesn't matter. I'm gonna currently indoctrinate this other fucking planet I found. So they will fucking love me, for I am their god. And they love butts.
that's one way to do it.
Alright, so... Whoa, where the fuck are you going?
Can I build a mesh tile?
Oh,
yet?
wait, yeah, no, that's good. That was a fucking end gate. Do not touch that. I swear to God, if you touch that, I will end you.
Oak.
Oh, Satoshis here.
We're hanging out, we're
Hey-o.
streaming, we're doing stuff. All right, 2.5 hours. Just relaxing, building science in space.
Space.
All right, sweep that.
Actually, do I want to be a mad lad? I'm gonna be a mad lad.
Uh-oh.
Ha 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 ha.
Raise priorities.
There. I have mad ladded.
Cascade or Daedalus? God damn it. This is so hard.
Is it as hard as building a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards?
No. It's still just...
Fair enough. No, it was a legit question.
No.
I was trying to compare the levels of hardness. Moe's sci-fi scale of hardness.
Wait, do I have World Shaper yet?
I assume it's also like making a deck of Yu-Gi-Oh cards is way easier than having to like try to get back into writing after 2 years.
Oh, I
Probably. I don't think I've ever taken that long of a break from writing outright.
Or I mean like writing long form things.
Or you guys... Hold on. Are you guys running out of air up here? Is that what's going on? Yeah, you are. Jeez, okay. We need to build some more airflow tiles and let this place vent properly. Okay. All right, kids. Okay.
Oh, let's build more.
All right.
That's
Replace this all with airflow tiles so the air can flow better.
crime. Yeah, let's have a righteous governor.
It's probably because I'm pumping the oxygen out of here to pump into my my bathroom, my lavatory. You need more algae. Okay, well I can accommodate that for sure. Actually, you know what would accommodate it, nerds, if you dig out this huge block of algae I made. I told you to dig out. Let's set that at a 7.
I'm surprised that there's a large amount of algae at the start area now.
Well, there are. I don't think you were here when I started this. There are actually now quite a lot of different maps, so you can basically pick your difficulty. This is the default one, which is called Terra, which is like very, very beneficial to your start. So there's like shitloads of copper, coal, and algae and stuff right at the beginning. It's not meant to kill you. You can get the cool start, the hot start. You can get different stuff if you want to try different environments and different challenges, basically. I think there's got to be like at least 9 of them, if not like double digits. So, yeah, there's a lot of stuff.
It has been a while since I played this. I played this like beta up to like, I think 5th branch.
Okay. Well, you can see our build number right here. Okay,
I do remember like one of the weird things you could do at the start before the germ update happened was you just build air and water flow tiles on everything, and that'll just basically make all the basically make them pee all over the place. It'll just dump to the bottom along with all the carbon dioxide, so it's easier to filter out.
I can see that. Gravity filtration. Okay. I'm going to need you guys to dig up all this copper. I need it. Any other sources of copper we have not yet tapped?
I really wish my scientists would stop dying, but whatever. That's age for you. We have been going for several hundred years.
It happens. Okay, so these guys haven't done the thing. Okay, so the exosuit forge needs to be powered, so... In order to get us more raw resources, why don't you guys dig me out about this much chunk of this thing? Dig out that space for me. And we will... Oh wow, I'm really running. I'm getting fast and loose with my metals. That's what's happening. Okay, so why don't we? Dig out that copper by replacing those with tile.
Oh.
Set all these digging priorities out to a
Sorry, but
7.
I had to step away because I got a phone call. How much have I missed?
Not much. I'm just quietly bitching about my lack of metals right now.
Yes.
Oh, God,
Enjoy
this is so
the starting biome where like you will be dying for more iron or copper.
I mean, I got some deposits in multiple places. I just gotta start working towards them, maybe.
I have returned. How would I miss?
Not much. I've dug out a little space. We're gonna get ready to actually we've made enough stuff we can build our Atmos suit dock, so that our duplicants can explore the polluted hellhole that is over here. And I did complete my water sieve loop, so I have the water thing going.
For your Atmos suit dock, I would say that you could also put on the other side of it a
Well, I'm gonna put some airlocks and stuff in here, I think, too.
Well, no, not just an airlock, but the best airlock you can probably make is after the Atmos suit, put a fluid barrier essentially.
Nah, we're probably not gonna get that complex with fluid
You
physics.
get that? No, you don't get that fancy. Okay.
Nah, I can set that up with just normal mundane stuff. And also, I got some clean water here, but I don't. Fluids are not in demand right now. Did you guys run through all the extra power? How did you do that? Oh, it's probably because I reoriented the priorities because I need you guys to dig copper.
Upgrade the Gateway. I did not know this.
Discard brief question. Is it? Oh, it's always worth picking Athena's boon over most things, right?
Athena, I'm not big on Athena's boons. I'm more into Aphrodite and Artemis.
Fair enough.
It
I
really
like
depends on what
deflection
you're
too
going
much.
for.
Right now I have a choice between Blinding Flash and Deadly Reversal because
What weapon
I
are
have
you using?
Sword Nemesis.
Okay then. Well, that's just.
I have deflection on my special, and I have it daily, so it procs twice.
Actually, I just realized there's a fuck ton of goddamn.
So it's like I don't know if I want to have it by deflection to procs exposed, or I get where my deflection now causes to give me bonus crit chance, or crit damage.
Hydroponic farms. Oh, I can make the Psycorps now.
Some of that does not ring a bell for me because I don't remember every boon off the top of my head. But
Deadly Reversal is after you deflect, you gain 20, basically for like 2 seconds, 20% chance to just crit more.
Free your mind.
Freeing your mind.
Free your mind. Time to eat the hallucinogenic berries.
Which I think works because it's like I already have a thing of
30%
crit. So if I do it, 50% crit.
The one thing I like the most about the basically the planet that's full of hallucinogens is that you just get consistently called up. Like you get freaking drugged up, stoner calls, and a shite ton of false emergencies.
I picked the duo boon because I needed that for like the fates list anyway.
Yeah, I think if eventually something bad happens there, though, like actually bad.
Not saying anything bad to you, Axe, but really I can't give you good advice for which boons to pick because it depends on what you're running and what you get, really.
That is fair.
Look, you can never go wrong with Poseidon, period. Just take Poseidon every single time. Wave man, good man.
Oh, yeah.
Broseidon, king of the Broshan?
Yes, Broseidon.
Fun story to tell you guys about the rod of fishing.
Alright, that's regular water.
So, basically, I started by wrong, that's where I got it. And he basically stole the first boon, being like, "Oh, you got my rod of fishing, so I'm gonna give you a boon now, where basically you now have a chance of fishing every time you go into a different room."
Yeah, he did that for me.
It was great.
What's X playing right now?
Hades.
It's
Now,
all the
Poseidon's pretty
rage.
good because what he does
Back in
is
treasure.
Yes, thank you, Axe.
Sorry.
That's all right.
Isn't that the hard opposite of what would happen if you were in the actual Greek mythology?
Well,
I don't know. Gods did kind of give out boons willy nilly. Then they were like, "Wait a minute, I didn't like that. Let me smack."
Well,
this."
you're Zagreus, so technically they like you because you're one of them.
Yeah, that's also a thing. Is there's a lot of blatant nepotism.
Yes,
yeah,
it
the
is.
game is very much full of nepotism.
They are very much one. They're all giving you a thing because one, it's like, oh, a new god wants to come to Olympus, yay! And it's also, hey, we can stick it to our smelly brother of ours, Hades, because Hades is
Yeah.
very
Just
much.
like you, I just want to stick it to him. Yeah.
Hades
I-
is go ahead.
I'm sorry. No, you go, Discard.
Hades is very much the biggest curmudgeon in this game.
I mean, he's stuck being the clerk of the dead for like billions
Well,
of
if you mean
years
by
now.
big a conversion by the person who actually sits down and tries to do their fucking job, then yes.
Well,
he's the only
yeah,
one
no,
doing your
but
job.
it's the usual modern interpretation of Hades is that he's slightly overworked and kind of busy doing stuff because he's got shit to
Everyone's
do.
dead. He's still cataloging people for when Achilles was alive.
Well, how can I put it like this? The thing is also that he's just not a really easy boss to work for, especially when you're his son, where he has expectations of you.
He wants his son to just
Yeah.
help him do his job.
Anyway,